Hibbits is they don't got nothing I want. That's one thing I know.
Not my store. My store got the newest.
No, y'all don't.
Like
y'all
what?
got the same Jordan Sherelle be having.
I mean, I just know I don't want no butterfly shoes. I
Huh?
mean, I ain't worried about my little $40 on my Nike
Weren't the
Cortez.
butterflies
It beat them
sparkly?
butterfly shoes. They was glow in the dark. And he had glow in the
They
dark
had
barrettes on
glitter.
his shoes.
That was some
Yeah.
different shit though. Y'all was so taken aback. Y'all never seen them shits like that before.
Because I didn't think,
Yeah, it's
bro,
not
I didn't think
necessary.
you would have butterflies on your shoes.
They
Yeah.
fire.
He had,
But like,
Hey,
let me see the Cortez again.
he had
So I can
butterfly
check 'em?
barrettes. He had glow in the dark butterfly barrettes on his shoes.
Look at these.
Ooh.
Look at them. You shitting me?
Bam.
Come
Nike
on, man.
Cortez, nigga. Classics, nigga.
I'm not.
No,
Now
them
what?
shit say
definitely
Arriba
gotta
or
make
some
them
shit like
go.
that. But then that's like y'all pulling out shit that the Migos wear. Come on, man. That's not a flex.
Me and Migos.
The
Central
Migos.
America is the South. What you mean?
Yo,
The Migos.
Migos is crazy. Him. That is fucking.
That was
Nah, dead
wild.
ass. Like
No,
Nate.
these are West Coast classics, okay? Worn
Mhm.
by essays
You
and black folks
you
alike,
ain't been to the
okay?
West Coast in 12 years.
You keep saying, you keep adding years, Hamp, okay? You got to give me, what's this, 2025?
Well,
You don't know the new
Eight,
I mean,
streets or none of that
you,
shit.
but you're not there right now. That's the point.
seven,
The point is you're not there
seven.
right now.
your
Can you,
old ass ain't
okay,
finna
so
see
you
me
can't
tell
say
me
12 years until 2030, okay? That's
You
when you can
don't
say,
have, you
so,
don't know
2030.
you don't know
yeah.
what grocery stores is
Oh my
around
God.
your way no more.
Yes,
Right
I
around
do.
the corner.
It's the usual ones. Food for Less,
Usual.
Ralph's, nigga, um, Vons,
Every time you
nigga.
say nigga, you thinking.
Yes, I am. But it's Ralph's and
Nay
it's
at
Food for
Hibbits.
Less.
Have y'all heard of Hibbits before?
Yeah, we got Hibbits out here in Atlanta.
No.
It's in North
Hibbits
Carolina
is
too.
the pits, bro.
That's
Guess
where I go
what?
to get my baby shoes.
But guess
They
what?
go they want to go to Hibbit to get some shoes.
My Hibbits discount work at JD Sports, ETLR, Finish Line, Cake. What is it? Palace Cakes or
You
something
don't
like that.
have no DTLR around you.
We do have DTLR out here.
No, you
And we got
don't.
DTLR in the mall out here too.
DTLR in North Carolina. Yes, we do.
No, you don't.
Yes, we do.
No, you don't.
How you gonna tell her?
Because you only got the Mexico 3s at Hibbits. That's it. Y'all got the
Bro,
Jordans that be a
KDs
combination
still
of 3 or
exist?
4 different Jordans.
Y'all still they be selling KDs? Like the old
They be the
version?
ones that be like, they call them the 6 rings.
Yo, those are Jordans. Don't do that.
I just looked up the website and they got 2018 Kevin Durant shoes.
I definitely got Mufasa some KDs for the field day. See them colorful shoes on his
He wears KDs?
What? The KDs was fire. They had his autograph on them.
While he over there talking, I'm gonna give me some case. I'm gonna rebuy me some K Swiss too. I'm getting all the classics, nigga.
No, you
As
just
long
because
as
you
you just don't buy
stop calling them
championship
classics
shoes.
first. of
They
all.
are.
No, they're old shoes that niggas used to wear.
Yeah, classic.
No, that
Callie,
doesn't make them classic.
And I'm gonna
if
give me
you
some Grant. I'm gonna give me some Grant Hills too, because I ain't never
if
get to get
you
no Grant
ever
Hills when I was in
buy
high school.
champion shoes, I gotta disown you, Kelly.
Oh no,
Don't
I
do
ain't
it.
going to no champ. I ain't buying no champion
Okay.
shoes.
Okay.
Mm-mm. No, we're not going that far. No.
Okay.
Yo,
Okay.
Mel said those is hordons. That's what they are.
Nigga, we live. See, he's sneaky. I know how he got CJ the other day.
Yo, I'm just saying, y'all talking about K Swiss, Nike Cortez,
Yes.
the
Shell toe Adidas.
hordon,
Don't forget them.
the
Shell toe Adidas
hordons,
with the
shell
fat
toe
laces.
Adidas. This is a terrible closet.
And you want to talk
I'm gonna
about
give me some
butterfly
chucks
shoes?
too. I'm
It's
gonna give me some
amazing.
red chucks, and I'm gonna give me some blue chucks, and I'm gonna give me some black chucks that go all the way up to my knees. I'm gonna give me some.
These is
I'm gonna give
2
some.
for ones. Y'all like, do they
Yes.
get y'all a pair? These shits is gas station sneakers.
Except you can't find them at the gas station, but it's okay though.
No, that ass. Somebody definitely got a truck full of K Swiss they giving away.
That's all right though. They can give them to me.
How
I'll
many
buy them for the
stripes on the K
$40.
Swiss? How many
It's
stripes on
4.
it?
It's 4.
This is disgusting, bro.
You mad? I knew. That's what.
That's crazy. Damn, man. I ain't know niggas wear KDs. I think back, yeah, Leon, that's a good thing. 2015, 13, maybe. Damn, Saw, what's up? You like them sneakers too?
I'm sorry, I don't. But yeah.
Which ones? How you rank them? You got the Nike Cortez, K Swiss, the Hordons, and what the Shell Toes, and what she said?
Chucks. You can put Chucks in there too.
Chuck Taylors.
Oh, I'll go with the Chuck.
You go with the Chucks?
Yeah. They I feel like they still in a little bit.
They in?
Depending on where you
we can't include Chucks in there. I'm sorry.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, they on another list.
They still classics though. They on Hamp's list of fucked up shoes that Cali Bev would buy.
Do you have Forever I Love Atlantis, Callie?
Do I have some felines? Yes, I have some felines downstairs.
You need to be arrested.
That is crazy.
This one of the
And they got a
worst.
strap going across the top. We got a strap too.
What?
Yeah, and it got a strap going across there too.
You gotta show it.
You got a sport mode?
Yeah, I got super speed or whatever they call it when they put the strap up on ugly ass Crocs. Yeah.
Yo,
I hate Crocs, bro. I hate Crocs. Them shits over there.
yo.
I don't know now. I do my little platforms Crocs. I love the platform.
Wait, they have platform Crocs?
I do the platform Crocs. They are
Platform
ugly. They are ugly.
They not ugly. The
Platform Crocs?
Yeah, because you know the real
Pull them up for you.
like the regular Crocs are low. So
That's nasty work.
I
son.
saw a YouTube video of
Oh,
somebody melting
God.
Crocs in the hot sun during the summer. I'm not wearing that shit.
Shoes for less, man.
I'm not wearing that.
I don't have none of these things.
Where y'all go? How do I find Marshall.com? Where do y'all Ross?
Why Marshalls? Foot Locker.
Shit ain't no Foot Locker.
Don't call for
I
Marshall.
don't know.
Shit.
I got my shoes from Foot Locker. I don't know.
Maybe a Goodwill. I don't know.
for what? What we
No,
talking
Goodwill
about?
is used shoes. I ain't putting on nobody's shoes.
Shoe carnival.
Hey, Lex.
She got these legs. What up?
Is-
Damn, man. Y'all gotta I don't know. Y'all gotta do something different, man.
Oh my God.
Yo,
Oh my
y'all
God, bro.
I ain't gonna lie. Y'all might gotta start
He is
working two
ugly.
jobs. Y'all might gotta start working two jobs. Y'all gotta do something different.
Here's the thing though. I like what I like, and
If
now
y'all
that I
missing,
like what I like is cheap
nah.
because I'm old. Because they old now,
If
it's
y'all
even
missing
better.
on Tuesday nights because you doing overnight stocking, I understand.
Hated it.
But this can't be your life. Look at this.
No. Oh God.
This can't be what you gotta boil down to.
Once you
Platform
put them farms up there and you dressed it up, they not ugly.
Are they?
How do you
Do they
dress
have
them up?
enough?
Show
Do they
me.
have enough support? Like,
So-
because it looks like you could break an ankle.
Now I'm not
Man,
gonna
Crocs are supposed to be comfortable. Ain't no way them things comfortable.
They are comfortable. I'm trying to tell you, they comfortable.
I guess. I mean,
I
No,
mean,
I heard Crocs are comfortable though. I heard they comfortable. I never
I
put my
love 'em.
foot in one, but I heard they comfortable though.
Yo, man,
We get
this
some new
is-
Crocs every week, and I get a new pair every week.
huh?
And you put that strap up and you can run. You know, put that strap up in
What
the
do you
back
mean
and
you
you can run in them. That's what I heard. They call them
Yeah,
super
them
speed or
Crocs,
some
man.
shit.
Them
It's
Crocs-
called sports mode. That's what they call
Oh,
it.
that's what it's called. Okay, see, yeah, you gotta correct me. I'm old. Okay.
Look at this nasty.
why you do that?
shit here.
Why you do that? Take that off.
Yes. No, I don't like them platform ones. Them second ones, but for the 74, I don't like
You know
them.
what?
Just the
That's a
regular one.
CNA uniform shoe. That's a CNA. Yeah.
Nah. Don't disrespect the CNAs. Those are Reeboks. Reeboks. You talking about that?
Yo, y'all showing y'all age, boy.
Him keep talking. I'm gonna mess around, find me some LA gears and put them on. I'm gonna have 3 different color shoestrings in it.
Look at these shoes, Asia.
What's LA Gears?
They clowning me. Look at these shoes.
Hey,
but
first-
nobody.
yeah,
said
they
you
dope,
wear
though.
those.
I like
that
them.
it ain't my type of style, but you know, she like what she like.
I like what I like.
Style.
Okay, I'm stuck in the
Yeah, myself.
90s. Okay, I like what I like. Okay.
And I said, hey, Kelly, I told you I still keep a pair of Chuck Taylors red.
There you go. Yes, I'm finna buy
Always.
me some too.
The Chucks ain't bad.
I'm just waiting for these breads to come out next week.
Oh my
And if I
god.
don't wear
So
that,
what you think about these, Asia?
man,
Those are
That's
horrible.
What are
Horrible.
And yo, he thought he was gonna put those
That's
up there. He was gonna be like, "Oh my god,
Bro, he put them on and then he was like, "This the one right here."
Yeah,
This
those
Who
are
put
is
them
it.
on?
Boy,
Everybody.
when I
Hamp
stepped
had
out,
them on at the blackout in Houston last meetup.
Bro, that
those.
so
Yeah,
did you
that's
put
not
them
cute.
off white?
That ain't cute.
These ones, the black ones.
With the
I
with the
repeat
glow in the dark
myself. They're
berets on them.
still, they're still not cute.
Yeah, but
Niggas
you
walking around with
also
butterflies on their shoes
No.
and
those
shit
look
now.
like they for kids.
you
Like
also
Yeah, this is
wear.
really mature shoes.
But
Those are
I
really
forgot
immature
you
shoes.
also wear Nikes.
Yes.
Yeah, I wear Nikes. What's your point?
What they're just Nike. They're not like Air Max or nothing. They just say
No,
Nike.
no, they are, but I don't wear butterfly shoes either, nigga.
So
No,
if
you
you
just wear
I'd
Nike.
rather wear Nike.
You wear the
Just like
Bobs.
Nike, not
You
wear
wear the
butterflies
Bobs.
on my
Would that be cool?
shoes.
You wear the
Looking
Bobs
real
joints.
real
You wear the
immature.
Bobs joints.
Hamp, you
Hamp,
got some
Hamp.
off-whites?
Do they glow in the dark?
Yes,
Yeah.
like light up sketches.
Yeah, you wear the Bobs Nikes.
I don't wear butterflies on my shoes.
Okay. Why do you need glow in the dark butterflies on your shoes though? Cause
Y'all have no idea about style. That's what I want to notice.
No, you really don't. Like
Glow in the
because they're butterflies and cute. Like that's a little bit. I don't even wear butterflies on my shoes.
I mean, it's clearly about the brand more so.
Well, I'm not a design. I'm not a label whore.
yeah,
either.
not a label,
I'm not a label,
not a
whore,
label
so I
person.
don't care
Not
Cap,
about.
how much they scam you? I mean, how much you pay for that? How much you pay for that?
I got disposable income.
Oh, period.
He said it ain't tricking if you got it.
Disposable income, so I'm just gonna say it like that. I was about to say something a little bit more crazy. I'm just saying.
yeah, he caught himself. He caught himself.
So I just, you know what I mean? I get it. I ain't judging, but you know what I'm saying.
He is judging. He gonna say I'm not judging. He literally went through all these shoes to talk.
No, I'm just saying.
Oh shit, my bad.
That's all I'm saying, man. You know. Damn, man. Oz, what's popping?
What's happening?
Yo, what you think about these shoes right here, man? These ones. Hold on.
He keep trying to.
You're right. He ain't gonna let it go till somebody say
Man.
they like it.
And then
Yeah,
they
I
got
don't
the
like
nerve to have a
them.
tag on it.
Hmm?
What the fuck is a tag?
Are those butterflies?
Yeah.
They are glow in the dark butterflies. Glow
Oh,
in the
Yeah.
no.
butterflies.
Emphasize glow in the dark. He wanted us to know that.
I am.
I ain't feeling those, man.
Y'all niggas don't know nothing, though.
At least we know where to find them in the club if we
I'm
looking
in the
down.
wrong crowd, to be honest with you.
That nigga ain't gonna get lost.
I forgot. Y'all niggas on something.
What did he have on? Glow in the dark butterfly shoes. Okay.
My fault. I forgot who I was talking to. I forget. Y'all niggas can go to Amazon and
Hey,
get
yo.
y'all fit.
Hey.
Yeah, I do. Give me them Grand Hills right there, and I got those felines right there. Except they like a sea green kind of color. Yeah, I got that.
Yeah, I
My
forgot.
felines.
My fault. You
Forever,
got
I love Atlanta.
The two for $89.99.
And Freaks in LA. That's right.
But
But I didn't get them from there because Amazon wasn't the thing when I bought them.
I forgot. Y'all niggas. I forgot who I was dealing with. My bad. You know what I'm saying? That's my fault.
Yeah. And I forgive you.
You know what I mean? I forgot.
None of those.
Forgot niggas to eating oodles and noodles. So I apologize. I'm in the wrong
Yep, they was
crowd.
good too. They was good too. I just didn't have time to put broccoli in them.
I'm in the wrong crowd. God damn it. You know what I'm saying? That's my fault. You feel me? That's what that is. If it wasn't for Mel, I'd be by myself in this motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? Damn. Like, share, subscribe, tell a friend, tell a friend. Hit that like button right now if you can. That helps the channel the most. Salute to the ladies in the building, the POV. We are here. Asia, what's popping?
Shit like that.
That's good. Happy Tuesday.
It's goody.
Chilling.
What's up with you? You did it on purpose. Your hair wrap match your shirt and all that.
Yep, I got a butterfly on my shirt too. You like it?
The thing about it is, them shoes that cover your closet.
Nigga, please.
Yeah.
Are you got the wrong?
Y'all want to
not
keep
this
going.
one right here.
All 12,
Not this one right here, sir. My
all 12
Nigga,
of your sneakers, you could fit them right under that for sure.
Oh, don't forget the heels. I got shoes for days, and you know my closet is nice. It's like that.
I've definitely seen a few Steve Madden boxes in there.
Yeah, please.
You know what I'm saying?
Wrong designer. But
I thought they was Manolo. They was Steve Madden.
Put him in the fucking bedroom. Get him out of here. Come on.
What time it is? You know what it is.
You know what I'm saying? All those on wearing shoe ass nigga. Tay, what up?
Wow.
What's good?
What's going on?
She got all them non-slips in her closet. What's good? Tay, you all right?
I'm good. I ain't got none of that, but yeah, I'm good. I appreciate y'all.
What you be wearing? Cause y'all niggas want to start with me.
Get in the zone. Auto Zone.
Wow, Chucks, like I got Nikes, but you know, I can afford a size, so you know, maybe never.
You still wear Hirachis, Tay?
I have some Hirachis, I do.
Shout out to 2006. Saw what's popping. What's up with you, Saw? Whose side you on, nigga? You with me with the butterflies, or you with these K-Swiss niggas, man?
I'm the neutral party.
Nah, I already told you. We already had this some conversation before I hit the live button.
First of all, I can't afford the off-white, so I can't do that. So
what I'm saying is, if all things being equal, whose side you on? You the forever I love Atlanta nigga, or you know what I mean?
Well, I don't like them shoes, so I'm
nice,
gonna
nice. Mute. Jay Lynn, what's popping?
What's up?
What's goody, man? Whose side you on?
I plead the fifth.
Ain't no fifth.
I plead the sixth.
You really on this?
I plead the seventh.
Really? Look at this shit, man. Really?
Okay, hear me out. I'm on neither side if you're gonna pick that shoe out of all the shoes.
Look at this shit, man.
I'm sorry. Why you got the sound playing?
You
the sound is crazy.
Look.
That's how HAMP be modeling them butterfly shoes.
Okay. Okay.
Why are you finding more Amazon though? Wow.
I'll put it like this. If you would have showed Shaq's, I definitely would have been on your side.
But I just showed you Fila. That's the same difference.
Shaq's are worse.
Huh?
Shaq's are way worse.
Not really though. If you think about it. Did you think about it, or you just answering?
I said I plead the fifth. I plead the sixth. You didn't, and then I plead the seventh. So.
Oh, that's crazy, man. I just understand. I know who I'm dealing with, man. Callie, what's good?
What's popping, Tinkerbell?
Y'all have some fucking one-time wears talking to me, nigga. Toes be coming through the front of them cheap ass shoes. Y'all, yo,
nope.
Come on, man.
Nah, it's all good though. What's up?
Good daddy. Nay, what's popping?
Perfect. I'm here.
Shut up, Nay. They got anything for me at Hibbits or what?
What you looking for? We ain't got none of them butterflies though.
Y'all got the 6 rings though, huh?
I guess so. On well.
Y'all got the Migos shoes. You said they was Jordans, right?
Yeah, but we ain't wearing them. We wait on the new releases.
The Migos come through your store a lot?
What do they in them Haitians? They be tearing them shoes up. I don't complain. I get my sales.
God Damn, man. Rebecca, what's popping, man?
Y'all talking about shoes. I'm not a shoe person at all. So I'm just smiling and waving because
But you have eyes, right?
you said what?
You have eyes, right?
Yeah.
Did
I
you
do.
see the Forever I Love Atlantis?
I'm not a feeler. Yeah. Like I have Nikes that's like in Jordans.
You like the Cortezes?
I don't even know what those are, Hamp.
Shit like that.
Oh, those.
Shit like that.
No, I like high top shoes. That's just they not ugly, but it's not something I would wear because like I like blazers. Like I know what blazers are.
What are blazers?
And Chuck Taylors. I'm sorry. I know y'all was like that's a different category, but those are my gym shoes. It's Chuck Taylor. So
That's what I was
yes.
Chucks be cool. Chucks are good for leg day.
every day's leg day, Hamp.
Word? Yo, bench press?
You said bench press? Only if I go with John, I'll like bench press. I'll do dumbbell work though, like shoulder press, stuff like that.
You know, isolation. I think isolation better for the ladies anyway, just for definition and focus purposes. So that's what's up, man. Lex, what's popping?
Put him in the
We here. Thank you for having me. I appreciate you.
Yeah, so you was cheering on the K-Swiss and all that?
No, I wasn't cheering on the K-Swiss. I'm Chuck Taylor's, and I like a certain brand of felines. A certain.
What you got on your feet right now? Let me see.
Socks?
You got 12 in you got 12 in the pack socks on?
Huh?
You got 12 in the pack socks on?
12 in the pack. I can't remember where I got these from.
Did they come in with a host of other socks?
Oh yeah, definitely. Oh yeah. We ain't buying one pair.
Wow.
You buy one pair of socks, Hamp?
Yes, Mel. It's like I'm in the twilight zone, Mel. Like I don't. This shit is.
It's
But
no,
Nike socks.
I didn't even know that was a question. Like
no
you
way
just
y'all can expect nothing less from somebody that wear butterflies on their shoestrings.
That's what she said.
Glow in the dark. Glow in the dark. Butterfly. Glow in the dark.
Hey, check.
She said your glow up was real. I'm just telling you.
Listen, man. Y'all niggas hate.
I see what you did there.
I wear clothes that make sense. You understand?
Butterflies don't make sense.
Y'all look
No,
what
it
I
does.
can do.
It does make sense. You have
My
to carry
shoes
the
glow in
one.
the dark.
Carry the one. Carry the one.
Hamp. Think happy thoughts. Okay.
There's no place like home.
Cortez that you put up there, Callie.
Huh?
Niggas would have laughed you out to school.
Yeah, and people was laughing at them butterflies.
They would have
too.
put
It's
you in
okay,
a
though.
red. They would have put you in a red jumper. You would have been on suicide watch the way niggas would have teased the shit out you. I'll tell you that now. Where
Well,
Callie
look.
at? They got her in that one room.
Well, you know what? You care about that just as much as I care
Yeah,
about it.
racist.
Okay, we both like what we like. That's what makes it fun.
Oz, what up though?
What's happening? Thanks for having me again.
Yeah,
I can't
man.
call it.
These niggas in here wilding, man. They showing their true colors. Feel me?
Shit like that.
Ham's
Man.
colors glow in the dark.
These some cheap shoe wearing motherfuckers. Bro. Fucking, I said it. Y'all some cheap shoe wearing motherfuckers. That's what y'all are. All right. God damn it. Let me put my shoes in the fucking washing machine. Ass.
The butterflies gonna come off.
Those you got to get dry clean, asshole.
Dry clean butterflies?
He gonna open the top of that washing machine and butterflies gonna come out like it's.
See, you told on yourself. My washing machine's a front load.
Put him in the fucking bedroom. Put him in the fucking bedroom. Get him out of here.
Yeah,
Come on.
take off all the butterflies before he gets it dry clean.
It'd be your sheets that get stuck around the motherfucking tube, not mine, nigga. All right, I don't got those problems.
Yeah.
It be y'all niggas pulling at that.
Hey, HAMP must have been doing his arms today because he just flexed on you with the front wash.
Yo, man. Like, share, subscribe, tell a friend, hit that like button right now if you can. That helps the channel the most, man. All right, man. That was fun, man. Listen, I appreciate y'all. Salute to the 160 people in the building for listening to us not talk about nothing except for everything. Let me see how many likes we got. Hold on, I'm on the wrong one. We have 163 people and 66 likes. It makes sure the likes match the viewership. Eli was popping with the 10 ounces. Crack. Oh shit. Crocs are so ugly, they have no other choice but to be comfortable.
We'll talk about crack too later in Discord.
Even like
got it wrong.
What's them running shoes? Hoka. Them things. If I put one on, they was damn comfortable as hell. That's for sure. Son, kid, shalom. Granny in the building with the 10 ounces. HAMP, sit to the side, player. Y'all ain't shit. Bravo Tech. Perfect. She said, hey, ladies, what's poppin'? Bravo, OG Bravo Tech in a building. Salute. I hope y'all were able to meet Bravo Tech at the field day, man. He came, brought the water, Gatorade, Red Bulls, had the drones out there. That shit was immaculate, man. Salute, man. Didn't fit. Clips of this does clear all this up by dropping the pics from ATL. I think we got a lot of pics. I don't know if Cheek be taking pictures as much as he be like recording. Did y'all take a bunch of pictures?
We still waiting for he to drop them pics.
I still like 3.
I don't never take no pictures, man.
I thought he took a lot at the blackout. I thought he did. It seemed like
he did. That's what we're waiting for, the blackout party.
Yeah, I got a video. I got a promo video.
Oh, I got
but were there pictures or were there videos? See, that's the thing.
I think it's more based on what Cheap be doing. It's probably more video, I would say. But that was fun though, for sure.
Yeah, it was. Gotta like keep it in the memory banks. Ain't no pictures, okay? It's all up here.
Shit, you on the video?
Huh?
You can hear.
Hondas. No. Yeah, a little bit, but not from the blackout party though.
So the Ray Sean, shut up. So y'all hear all these conversations, right? For whatever, 2 years, 2.5 years, 3 years. If you've been here longer, cool. And you hear seemingly how you guys are seen and or looked at, what the perception is, how a lot of it is seemingly negative regarding women and how you guys present in the earth. We're usually having a conversation about what's right, wrong, the women's conduct, and we're trying to mine something out, within that conversation. So as an example, it'll be like, 1 out of 4 black women are married, and here's why, essentially. When black women and Asian men were considered the most undesirable, here's why. Black women have the worst attitudes, and then we mine through it, right? Babies out of wedlock, picking the wrong niggas, etc., etc. But I wanted to ask y'all, like, what is your synopsis of everything you hear and everything being seemingly leveraged, not in your favor? Like, what's your take on all of it? Like, what was your perception on how you are viewed? Like, what do you guys think about everything that's said?
So when we first started this POV and we were talking, and then the men would come up, you drop the link and they would come up. I'm not going to hold you. It used to hurt my feelings. It did. It hurt to hear the negativity that was spewed week after week, hour after hour, and how they viewed us. And I would be windmilling, and because I'm like, no, that's not, who we are, and why are you talking about us like this? But I had to realize this, listening to them and kind of getting behind the statements. There's a lot of hurt from the men. The men are hurt. And that's why they use the words that they use. They have been rejected a lot. They're lonely. They, have a lot of self-hatred and disappointments in their life. And I just believe that they take out their frustration, their anger on us Black women, and that's where it originated from. That's why I took it. So I started giving them grace in realizing that it came from a place of hurt and pain, and they don't know how to heal from it, and they don't know how to move past those times of rejection when the girl that they liked in school didn't like them and made fun of them because their shoes were dirty or their clothes were dirty and they didn't have fresh haircuts, and they got rejected. And so they never let that go. And so it carried on to them in life, to their adulthood, and they still holding on to that like a scared little boy in a man coat. But therapy is out there.
That's your overall takeaway, is that you listening to a bunch of hurt niggas.
Yeah.
So there's nothing for you to learn. You just need to give them grace because you understand they have trauma that got them to this place of judgment based on what they have experienced anecdotally from women.
Absolutely. And so every Black woman gets sprayed. Mm-hmm.
Okay. Yes. Now, okay. All right. Before I ask clarifying questions, let me get a couple more takes. Rebecca, what's popping, man?
How did I know you was gonna ask me? Yeah. I don't think the majority are hurt. I don't have that take on it. I think my overall takeaway, because before, I became a part of the community, I did watch other, podcasts and stuff like that and I'd be like, oh, why is it always about, women, and why like we are always this way or that way? But I kind of had to take a step back and look and be like, okay, the men aren't wrong in a lot of the things that they're saying. The majority of the stuff that they're saying, they're not wrong. Because of anecdotal experience and just watching, people or I would say women on social media, and what they see, maybe even what they've experienced really like out and about, how we react, how we treat each other, how we treat them, what they hear. It's hard to be like, oh, they're just hurt. It's really more so like, no, we're kind of causing this effect on them. We can't just be like, oh, it's their fault because of them, because we have a hand in it as well. And so my takeaway, what I would learn is I would say, be more humble, do more active listening. That's my takeaway when it comes to what they say or how they feel about certain things. And it sounds negative about us, but it's kind of them just telling their experience with us, I think.
Okay. I got two clarifying questions, but I'm going to wait. Callie Beverly, what's popping?
What's up?
You've been here since the inception of the internet, T. You know what I'm saying? You was here when the porno sites only had pictures.
I'm not that old, but I feel you.
Yeah, you that old. Ebony action, shit like that. So, what's your take on the perception of black women that's, said consistently?
My take is fuck y'all. I mean, real talk. Fuck y'all. Okay? Whatever you experienced out there, you go ahead and you address them bitches. Don't bring that shit over here to me. You bring that shit over here to me, you try to box me in, fuck you. Because you don't know what you're talking about. That's it. Beginning, the end.
Oh, you saying that they're talking to a group in which you don't fit into.
Right. I don't hold random L's for random bitches that I ain't got nothing to do with. Go talk to them bitches. Go talk to them bitches that's over there like them. Okay? If I'm displaying some kind of behavior and you don't like it, then you talk to me about me. Don't talk to me about some other bitch and want me to be held accountable for what some other random bitch is doing. Go talk to them motherfuckers. Don't talk to me. Fuck y'all.
Okay. Got a question, but I'll hold on to it. Lex, what's popping?
I would have to say that my sentiment is similar to Callie. Like, I won't say F y'all, but I'll be like, like this Kanye shrug, like, because they're bringing their experiences over, like Callie said, but then again, my experience makes me have that type of mind frame to be nonchalant about what they're saying because that's not my experience. So they say whatever that they want to say. I mean, and I'm not about taking accountability for some bras I don't even know. The bras that I do know, I mean, I'll say something. They ain't listening either too much, but I'm gonna say something, and I keep it moving. I mean, but
okay,
that's not my experience. They talk, and I don't like that either. Like even in when they judge and do all that type of stuff, it's just not my experience. I can sit here confidently and be like, okay.
Jalen, your take.
I will say the perception and the idea of how black men see black women, I would say on the forefront, it is hurtful to hear because a lot of what's being said on an individual level, you may not exude those things. However, I can't ignore the fact that there are black women that do exude those things and have hurt those men in some way or given them a negative perception of black women. It's kind of just like on a cultural level how black people are portrayed sometimes with other people that may not understand our culture. A lot of people may have negative perceptions because of how we portray ourselves via social media, via individual experience with those people, etc. So I can't deny that these men have this experience, and it's quote unquote black women's fault.
Nate?
Come back to me, Hal. You gotta go.
Why?
I'm still trying to mind it.
It's what based on what you've heard.
Man.
What do you feel about it?
I mean, I can't say the men are wrong for how they feel or how they view us because those are their experiences or things they saw in real time, their environment maybe. But for me, I think for me, I can speak for me when I say I take in the information and I'll try to weed it out. I try to weed out the bads, you know what I'm saying? Because before YouTube, I didn't know about a lot of this stuff. Coming into YouTube and listening to all this stuff and hearing all this stuff, I ain't got no friends. I have no friends. I don't talk to people. I don't like. I'm really I'm really a loner after learning a lot of stuff. Because me as a person, I'm trying to change. So I take a lot of the things that y'all say, that the men say, and I try to apply it if it fits. And I also try to hold the people in my circle to the same standard. And if you don't sit to the standards that I sit to, then we can't, you know what I'm saying? So I'm not taking away from how the men feel. They have the right to feel that way. That's how I see it.
Okay. Saad, what you think, man?
Yeah. I'm still fairly new to, I guess, the YouTube world, so it's a lot. But yeah, I don't take away from their experience. I feel like at some point it is valid. So.
Okay. Tay.
Oh man. So I've been on here for a while, been hearing a lot of things. Individually, it seems that the message comes across as negative because of how some of the men or most of the men choose to express it. But to me, collectively, the message, it seems to be correction, and it seems to come from a place of love overall. Again, not individually, because we know how they come on here and just to talk junk, right? But collectively, over the time, from what I've heard, and I listen a lot because a lot of this stuff I haven't heard before, but it really does seem like it's genuinely coming from a place of we want to see us do better as a community, and we want to see our Black women do better. Because again, it is a lot of anecdotal experience, and a lot of it doesn't apply to me or some of the ladies on the panel, or most of us probably. But because that's how they see us, I think that's the important thing we need to hone in on and figure out what part we can play in changing that little by little. But overall, I think the active listening part that Rebecca said, I believe in that. You know, I agree with that, because if we just apply half of what they're saying, I mean, they saying it, this is how they feel, this is what they see. So if we want us to be better, then we've got to do our part. So I would just say be open to the correction and not focus on how they say it, but focus on what's being said more so. But yeah, that's my take.
Okay. So, love, I noticed you said everything that they say is because Asha, I didn't skip you. It just
So
said
say I was going to ask you to talk to her.
be
Okay.
brand.
Oh, okay.
I want her to listen a little bit. But what about when there's numbers and statistics and factual data, right? Quantitative data that supports the sentiment. So it's not just what happened to them when they were a Poindexter, but there's information out there that can be quantified and prove the point. What do you do with that information?
So stats are stats, right? I mean, they can't be ignored. Whatever. What
Break the
is
can you
the problem?
explain real quick? Can you explain the whatever behind stats or stats that can't be ignored? Whatever. What does that mean?
Right. So I'm not. That means I'm not negating that the stats read. I don't know. I think the one they throw out a lot. They used to throw out when I was on here more. Black women are the most single mothers, something like that. They don't get married. Like when you said it, 1 out of 4 Black women are not married. We'll use that one. Right. Yeah, that's true. So I'm not negating that. The numbers are the numbers; they don't lie. 1 out of 4 Black women. Wait, is married or not married? What are you saying? What's the stat again?
1 out of 4 are married. Seemingly.
Are married. Okay, 1 out of 4 Black women are married. That is the correct stat. It's true. Can't fight that or debate that. But what factors lead into that? And I think that they listen and they quote stats in a vacuum, and that's not fair to do.
Well, so they would say that things like dismissive language, like stats or whatever, the attitude, the disposition
Oh no,
is
so
what deters.
that wasn't dismissive. That was me just saying like
But it would
agreeing.
be.
Honestly, it was me. It was more agreeing. Like
It doesn't
whatever.
sound. But what I'm saying is, it doesn't sound right. So then the disposition that's laid out before the men that have to date the women is unbecoming, and so you start to see different movements like MGTOW or men dating out and etc. And you
What's
see
MGTOW? What's MGTOW?
like men going their own way essentially.
Oh,
I'm giving you
oh.
the information,
Mhm.
you got the passports, then you have the percentages. Just a while ago, I think maybe 2 years ago when we first started, was 87% dating married to Black women to 83% now.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
So you start to see a change, and then men are just like the MGTOW just opting out totally, you know.
This new term.
So when we look at the stats saying 1 out of 4 are married,
Mm-hmm.
then the correlation is the attitudes suck and etc.
Mm-hmm. And again, I will I will say this again, is looked at it in a vacuum, because what happens a lot, and I'm being very sincere, because of trauma, me literally saying the stats are the stats, whatever, that's considered me having a bad attitude. And it was not saying this is you. I'm just saying men will look at that and say it's a bad attitude. No, it's not.
Dismissive.
It was like, go ahead.
Well, it would be dismissive, right? Whatever
Yeah, it
after.
wasn't intentional. Yeah, and it wasn't intentional. That's what I'm saying. So it'll get picked apart, right? That's what I'm saying. Like if the conversation is being had, it's getting picked apart instead of having a real conversation.
It
Because
is
if
a real
you're
part
really
of it, though, right?
interested. Go ahead.
Well, I guess what I'm asking is, if I end my sentence with whatever after, so you present me a piece of information like statistics, like I presented you, and then you say stats are stats, whatever. Quite literally, what I presented sounds to the majority of people like you dismiss that fact, because then you're after that you're saying because they're not giving you the context, right? So you're literally just dismissing the quantitative numbers by saying whatever, and then when you add your context, you further dismiss them.
Yeah. So that was not my intention to be dismissive. And when people are having conversation, then that's what would be stated. If you really want to have a conversation, if a man and woman are having a conversation because they're interested, and I would have said, yes, stats or whatever. We're looking at it in vacuum. That was intending it to be dismissive. That was really an agreement. Yeah, the stats are the stats. I can't deny that. It's what those whatever. And it could be a simple question. It could be a simple question. That sounds dismissive. Are you dismissing what I'm saying? That's how people really talk in real life. At least how they should talk in real life.
Okay,
if
hold on
I'm
one
having a
second.
conversation, go ahead.
Aj, now you new to this. When you hear stats are the stats, whatever.
Don't harp on that.
What is because you're saying that in real life, as though somebody is doing something that's not genuine up here in a regular conversation, like the whole world didn't go virtual for 4 years. And what percentage of people now work virtually over Zoom and what have you, to say that because it's over the internet, that it's not real life? That I think that's a disingenuous statement. But what I want to ask Aja is this. Aja, when you hear that sentence structure, are you saying people are intentionally trying to say that it's dismissive when it's not? Or is it dismissive when you hear it since you're new to the internet? And I'm asking.
I would say more or less like is dismissive, just based on the tone. Like if somebody's perceiving, like somebody that understands your type of level of communication, they'll come off like they'll perceive it like, okay, that's what she means. But if somebody coming into it and they don't understand or they perceive it the way that you do, then they may be taken back by it. So it's all about, like you said, it's all about communicating, or you know what, this is what I mean. So yeah. because effective communication is the best way. And I think that's the real problem with the community. Like sometimes people used to doing things one way, and then in turn, like that may be not what you're accustomed to. So that be the outliers. So yeah, that's my piece on that.
Okay, you said sometimes. I think what people do when they say sometimes in the context of what you say is justified unbecoming behavior. So to use dismissive terminology in a conversation where we're using quantitative facts, that's not something that should be justified. And I shouldn't have to try to interpret what you meant by whatever when we know what whatever
Word.
means.
Yeah, I disagree with that. I think that when people are having a conversation and there's a true desire of a meeting of the mind, and you have these discussions, and you, instead of assuming there's an insult or assuming that there's disrespect, you ask a question, or you give that person the benefit of the doubt. That's a real life conversation, or something that you want to have a real dialogue with. Hey, you said whatever. That sounds dismissive. Did you mean it that way? I'm sure you didn't mean it that way. That's how you would have that. And if the person didn't mean to be dismissive and it came across that way, they'd be like, oh no, that was not my intention. I meant it this way. That's how dialogue should be occurring.
You know what? Callie did admit that women are worse communicators than men. So I guess why this makes sense to you.
Are you listening to what I'm saying? Are you?
Yeah.
I'm honestly, I'm really trying to.
Yeah.
I'm
I
really
hear it.
asking,
I know.
when
Well,
you're-
love, Asia, what I'm saying is I understand intentional language, right? And I think that you smart enough to know ending a sentence after I present a fact to you with whatever, you know how the majority of people are going to read it and assume, right? And because you're only having one conversation and you have one opportunity to present yourself, right, to make a first impression, and you using whatever in sentences doesn't make sense if you want to be an effective communicator and resonate with people. It just doesn't make sense.
You know what it is?
Go ahead.
I'm used to talking to you one-on-one, right? And I've not
Mhm.
been up here in a while. And so how you and I talk, I got a little bit too comfortable. You're right, because people in the chat, they probably, of course, they're going to jump all over that. And I'm hoping that's what you're doing right now and saying, hey, they can be jumping all over that, because I'm comfortable in conversation with you. I'm going to talk one way because you and I are comfortable. There's a familiarity. So when we normally talk in real life, and I would have said that, there would have been no disrespect taken, or there would have been no dismissive offense taken at all in real life. If you and I are talking, I do forget that this ain't me and you talking. This is not Asian Ham talking. And so I'm like, what are you talking about? But I honestly, I'm rusty, y'all. I ain't been up here in a minute. For real. And I know, and I just remembered, it will be taken out of context from people that want to take it out of context. Because when I'm talking in real life and having a real conversation, people that know me and I'm comfortable, we're just talking, having a conversation, and it will be back and forth, having conversation. Strangers, I'm a lot more buttoned up and I'm going to talk a certain way. But strangers, I don't have certain conversations with either.
Well, yeah, we was essentially talking about strangers, and the speculation was that they hurt, and so you had to give them grace because of how they come across on the panels. But we're just looking at when a stat is presented, what do we do with that information, and are we just able to dismiss it because we're like, oh, this nigga's a loser, he was hurt? Because the stats.
Now we're going back to the original question. Okay, let me.
Yeah. Well, just hold that thought. I'm just because we just looking at it, right? How things come across, right? How things manifest in these conversations.
So what is
right?
What is you saying?
I'm just saying, right? The stats are presented, and even then, they're met with dismissive tones, lack of accountability.
Yeah, because they're used as weapons. Yes, because they're used as weapons. Correct.
So you're saying the stats are being weaponized?
Absolutely. When they were coming up here on the panel, they were using stats as weapons against us women on the panel.
Are the stats true?
And at some point, they have to be. I mean, well, I've always said this: you can make numbers tell a story you want them to tell. That's a whole other conversation for a different. I don't want to go down that rabbit hole. I want to have a real conversation right now. But depending upon who does the study, who they poll, and all that, that can tell a certain story that they want it to tell in that certain narrative. That's what it is. That's how they've used stats forever. What I'm saying is, when they were coming up here and throwing stats at us, they were weaponized against us. And I'm sorry, I thought I saw something move. And the problem was we would be reactionary because it was hurtful. And I'm saying I'm giving them grace because they were coming up here on the panel talking reckless to us and talking anecdotally about their experiences and letting us be their target of their weaponry. No, that's not right. Like Kelly said, take it out on the person that really hurt you. Because you're talking to me directly. You're putting your disappointment, your anger towards love on this podcast and this panel. Or whoever else was up here when Dana was up here and Ro was up here and Nate was up here. Like they would do that because they would say y'all when none of us up here were did that to them. And that's why I said what I said. They were rejected, they were hurt, they experienced trauma, and they came up here on a panel and we were the targets of their pain.
So, okay. So I think that what happens is things can capitulate. And so what we see on the panel was similar, if not the same behaviors. And so when they're putting a jacket on, do you think that the jacket is deserved at all, or you think that you are simply not those women ever?
And I'm not being obtuse. Who's putting on the jacket? Us or the men? I'm sorry.
They're putting a jacket on you, saying you.
The jacket. Okay, yeah. Okay, I'm sorry. Yes,
they can see your behaviors in those women.
Mm-hmm. Did they really see it in us? In us, the behaviors in us? Did they really see it in us, or did they just see black women?
Well, so like as an example, right? Callie said, "Fuck you," right?
She did.
So when she got upset about something that was said, right? Mm-hmm. She able to go off, talk shit, mm-hmm. right? Exude the behavior that they saying also happening to them when they're approaching women, right? So regardless of the reason why Callie would do it here and not in person is inconsequential. The fact that she would do it at all is literally the same behaviors that they're saying exuded when they're dealing with women in the earth. So I'm wondering why Callie would say, fuck y'all, mm-hmm. when you literally acting like the women that they calling bitches. So I'm trying to understand, how is it a fuck y'all if it's going both ways based on the behavior?
I thought Kelly was talking about the men up here on panel, but go ahead, Callie, you can talk to yourself.
Yeah, because Callie said she wouldn't do that to a nigga in person, but she'd talk spicy to a nigga on the internet. But that's but Callie, the spicy, disrespectful behavior is what the men are complaining about. Mm-hmm. So how is that not you?
Yeah, because I don't give that shit to nobody unless they giving that shit to me first.
Niggas ain't say shit to you that day.
What you talking about? What day?
When you say your ears got hot, nobody said shit to you.
No, yeah, I said, look, I heard what I heard, and before I went on ahead and I went off, I asked him a clarifying question before it even got to that point. But then here comes CJ and want to interject his bullshit into it, and I was going off on CJ. I wasn't even going off on what was his name? His name was Tay or something like that. I forgot what his name was. But yeah, that's what that was. He wasn't even the subject of the of the anger or anything like that. I was like, okay, so before I even get mad, let me just make sure that I'm clear.
Okay. But nobody said nobody care if your CJ said nobody care if your ears get hot. What that mean to me?
Right. And me and CJ already done had back and forth and everything like that. So he already know what he doing. That's why that shit was directed towards him and it wasn't directed towards old boy, because old boy don't know me from a goddamn can of paint. Mm-hmm. But y'all can go ahead and point and paint that how y'all want to or whatever. But that's what actually what happened.
So you into dismissing people's experiences?
No, I don't. I don't act like these bitches don't exist.
No, but the niggas you said fuck y'all niggas.
Yeah, like I said, I've been here too long or whatever. I already know where shit is going. You know what I'm saying? So when they try to say that,
jaded.
Somewhat, yes, I would say that I'm jaded to a certain extent. Yes, absolutely. I try not to be or whatever like that, and I take people one-on-one for what they bring to me, right? Mm-hmm. I don't try to put that jacket on every internet nigga. You know what I'm saying? I don't do that.
Whoa, Callie, I remember this Beautiful acronym. Council
Oh,
of
the Council of
Online.
Online Niggas? Yes,
Oh,
absolutely.
sound like a
And
jacket.
everybody is on the council. Every online nigga is not on the council.
Now, I ain't saying you said everybody. I'm saying you got a acronym. Council of
Yes,
Online Niggas. Coon.
right. The Council of Online. See, don't be giving away. You're
My
telling the
bad.
secrets, Hamp.
I
But
like
look,
saying coon.
but the thing is that I have to hear and see certain things from
Mm-hmm.
certain people
Mm-hmm.
on a consistent basis for
Mm-hmm.
me to go ahead and place you on the council. Not everybody that says things that I don't like is on the Council of Online Niggas.
All
Okay.
right. I'm just
All
saying,
on,
man.
all online niggas are not on the council.
Okay. I'm just saying. Jacket cast like a net. A fucking
No, it's
tuna.
not a net. It's not a net.
I don't know. I
It's
seen
it's
you
more
say
it's
it more.
it's more like a sniper. It's not a net. I don't cast nets on people.
If by snipe
It's
you
more
mean
like,
bazooka.
okay, that motherfucker right there. He on the goddamn council. That type shit. Okay. I don't
Ain't no
cast a
seats
net on
left.
all online niggas.
Ain't no seats left. Is all I'm saying.
Look, hey, it's seats left. Please believe it.
Now, Lex, when you say you just shrug it off because you ain't them women, how?
Well, I said that's not my reality. As far as
Like
dealing
what?
with as far as the stuff that they be saying, like attitudes and stuff. And also, let me throw this out there. I
No,
want to.
no.
No, I'm gonna answer. I'm
I'm
answering what you're
saying when
talking
you said that you ain't them, I'm asking how. What are our results saying in our background? Do we have the similar results of the women that they hold their feet to the fire?
about. You can get a similar result and not have that. I mean, 1 plus 1 plus 3 equals 4. Also, 2 plus 2. So it's like something can happen and you can have this same result, but it doesn't mean that this thing happened before to the reason why you had this same result. So
What you
I
mean? It sound like a thing I be saying. Say I judge myself based on my intentions, but we judge everybody else based on their actions.
yeah, and a lot of times you only see a lot of times we only see the person that swung afterwards. We didn't see the person that swung first. And
I
that's
know.
another thing with these men, like they come up here with all these stories talking about the broad, but we don't know. We can only take what they say. We
Mm-hmm.
don't know who swung first. We
Mm-hmm.
just see what's after this. But like I feel like the reason I'm not married, well, not even feel. I know the reason why I'm not married is because of a decision that I made. It had nothing to do with the attitude. It had nothing to do with all the stuff that they be saying. So that's when I say that a lot of women make decisions that put them in a
But,
position and it
but
had nothing
Lex,
to do with the attitude.
we know, but you know that's another talking point, right? You got the engaged brigade. I'm single because I by choice. I got proposed to 1,000 times, but I ain't like them niggas. That's regular shit.
Well, I'm not saying that either. I'm saying like I made decision like
What the hell you
family.
saying, Lex?
I'm saying like I didn't make that decision like,
You
oh,
know I
I'm
love y'all first and foremost. I just want to make sure I
right.
put that
I'm
out
not
there.
single but I made a
My bad,
decision.
AJ. I should have said it when I first started.
Don't sit there and say you love me. You sit there and try to have me back and grind the windmill you off me.
No,
Don't
when I
do
seen
that.
your neck, when I seen your neck starting sweating, I backed off a little bit. Go ahead,
No.
Lex.
Go ahead, let Alexis finish.
But I know I made a decision over my family, and I sit with that decision, like because that was my sisters, and I didn't want anything bad happen to them. But if I would have just left, I would have been married with this man and whatever. But I chose to stay because I didn't want nothing to happen to my sisters. So that's like what I'm saying. It wasn't had nothing to do with an attitude or nothing, or because I'm single by choice. No, I made a different decision that affected me. So I'm not looking at, oh well, yeah, because you do this and next swinging and I'm like, no, that's not it. But at the same time, it doesn't take away that that is a reality for a lot of other women. But I don't want to speak on that because that ain't mine. Why do I have to take up for that or be your person that you take all that pressure out on? No, because I'm not expecting that from them, especially these online ninjas. I'm not expecting them to put all what I went through on them. No, that's crazy. And the fact that they do that is wild. But I mean,
But you told us about Son on the panel that wasn't holding up his end and all that.
yeah, well, that wasn't the man that I talked about not leaving my sisters for. This was after.
That's what I'm saying. The after, I'm saying with the after what you told us about up here though.
But what does him not holding his own have to do with?
Because there's so many things leverage in terms of statistics and how we get the XYZ, right? And if we are part of a group that it says, okay, here's X, why are we saying it's not us? Like when they start talking about black men and being violent and all that, right? And subjecting ourselves to the system and all that, I'm not gonna be up here like, oh well, I ain't been in trouble in 15 years or something. So that ain't me. Nah, I could go there. And also I've been there. And that's a jacket that you gotta wear because you contributed. Right? I'm not gonna be like, oh, I'm better than them niggas now. Nah. So why y'all don't have to wear the jacket? Because you got a little bit older.
I don't have to wear just like the butterfly sneakers. I don't have to wear them around you though. I don't have to wear my jacket around you. I don't have to be like, oh my goodness, it's cold because they talking all that mess. Let me go ahead and make sure I button up this jacket and stand here. No, I don't. No, I'm not doing that. So I have to take accountability within myself, and I don't have to explain or tell nobody the steps that I'm doing to take that. These men online want us to be the one that they air quotes beat up on for whatever they went through. No, I'm not. I'm just not.
Yeah, I think the problem is now is that a lot of women in our society, we have dominance, and it take a strong man to deal with, some women that are alpha. I mean, in my situation,
what percentage of women are alpha? Because some don't resonate.
I would say a great percentage of women are alphas, and the reason why I'll say that, and y'all could disagree, is because
the majority of women are alpha. You saying?
I feel like over time, women have surpassed men, whether it's like, and I would say that mostly like in career, and sometimes a woman will think that things are like unequally yoked within their relationship, and some things could allow them to be presented as being like, what would I say, resent them. It caused a lot of resentment within the household.
Surpass men in what way? What y'all doing?
Some women in this life want to be housewives, and some
again. You said the
a
majority.
lot of women want to be housewives and want to be taken care of, and then you have other women that don't want to be taken care of. They want to do stuff. They want to do things on their own. Like they don't want a man to take care of them. They can do, they can hold up their end of the stick. Some women, I know a lot of women that do like the 50-50.
Come on, you used to
just
talking
because
to
you
simple
50-50 don't mean you no damn alpha.
You used to talking to white people over the internet. You ain't talking to them now. So keep saying some. Are the majority of women alphas?
Nah. I would say a low percentage of people are alphas.
I said women.
Women
are alphas?
No.
The minority of women are alphas?
No.
The majority of women are alphas?
You play too much.
Wait, I'm asking. The majority of women are alphas? Okay.
They want to be alphas. I'll say majority of women want to be alphas.
Okay. So you're saying the majority of women want to be in charge.
Correct.
So do the majority of women, you said the majority of women have surpassed men, you said?
I had to Heather, rewind. You said the audience I'm talking to. So I would say a small percentage. I would
So
say a small
majority of
percentage.
women
Yeah.
pass men.
Don't laugh at it.
Why you butted in to just backpedal? Why you
I
did
mean,
that?
I was thinking more. I was thinking. I'm
Thinking.
trying not to. I was thinking more self, and I got passionate, and I think I allowed my
You
passion.
just wait. So
I
you
allowed my passion based on what homegirl was saying to the side of me. I allowed my passion to kind of get in the way of the question.
just, just saying.
Don't do it, girl. He got a plan. Okay.
So yeah, this now. So I just want to understand, why does Lex get to pull off and on her jacket when it's time to be accountable? Alexis from Texas, how do we effectuate change as you get to be accountable for what you've done conveniently?
Because I can.
That is a weak.
No, I got it. I think
Ham, I'm go ahead, I'll let
And I
Ham.
love you. That is a weak.
You know what?
answer.
I'm finna go fix me
That's
up.
an answer.
Okay, I'll
Keep
be
it
accountable.
tall. That's an answer that you would have got your ass beat for as a kid.
Hey, no,
Because
I
it's
didn't
not
say it.
an
I didn't
answer.
say that as a kid. I could not say that. But
That's
you
what-
know what? I'll be honest. Oh, dude that you brought up, you remember the one that I was talking about, what I told you about? He got mad because I would do stuff like that. He was like, why you don't want to do it? Because I don't. But why? Because I don't. Why you do that? Because I can. Why? Because I can't. Like, I don't give
That's
a.
the behavior they talking about, though.
right.
I don't have to explain. I think that's a good enough. Me being an adult, I think that's a good enough response. So
That's nasty work.
it is. But I'm gonna stand 10 toes in it,
So
and
you
I'll put that
literally,
jacket on when I do it. I sure will.
yo, Lex, this is bad.
It's okay. A lot of things are bad.
Wow. Holy shit.
Wow.
If I gotta take responsibility for your BS and be accountable and listen to you cry or listen to you talk alpha about these females, then because I can.
That is diabolical.
Camp, I got a question real quick.
Yes, ma'am. And I got a question for you. Go ahead.
Have y'all ever heard the phrase, one egg spoils the bunch?
Lord, yes.
Okay. So I think like that's the premise. And I
Eggs
think
do
we
that,
take,
or is it apple like fruit?
It's the apples. One apple.
or I'm sorry, apple. Thank you. Sorry. I don't know why I was thinking
That's like
eggs.
egg?
Protein. Protein, my bad. But yeah, so I'm like, that's kind of the premise. I think we take stuff too personal. And because of how it makes us feel, and if we're not the immediate person right there, I guess another question would be, has any of us, I will say I definitely have, made a guy have reason to feel the way that most of these men feel when they're talking about the things that they're dealing with women? I've done it. I've definitely am guilty. So even though I didn't hurt that particular man, but if he's going to express, okay, this is what I deal with women, I've done it to a guy before. So do I just be like, oh, well, I didn't do it to you. So, but it's more like, okay, I can understand because I have been that person that did that to this guy and I know how that guy felt. That's how I'm looking at it.
Yeah, so I can agree with you, Rebecca. Like, I can agree. So that's why I feel like I can kind of relate to where they're coming from, and receive the information that they're giving us.
Because I think that was my point. Like, we don't like how it's being said. We're taking it personal, so we're missing the message. Again, in one episode, that's how it's gonna feel. But over time, the question was over time. And it maybe because I'm just thinking, I know I've been here for some time, but to hear them constantly say it, it is a real problem. And to know that a lot of the things they're talking about don't apply to me, it does not negate the truth or the stats that are being presented. that this is how we are being represented. So I think that's the whole premise of taking accountability. Like, oh, that really is happening. You know, we don't, how would we know if we didn't hear it straight from them? So I think,
how do we take accountability for somebody else's actions? I'm really asking
so
this.
that
How do we take accountability
again,
for actions?
it's not a direct you taking accountability for someone else's actions. It's us. It's an us problem. It's an us
I mean,
problem.
So how do I address that
until
then?
they say you got to take accountability? Like that'll
Yeah,
work
they do
until
do
they
that.
say you got to
Yeah.
take accountability
So
for what you
here's
did.
what
Like,
you're
well,
missing.
no, the fuck I don't.
Here's what you're missing. We are the representation. We are what they see. They're not talking about the girl, you know, the girls of the street or whatever, whoever they're dealing with. We are the people they see. So that is what, oh, okay, Black women as a whole, we Black, right? Are taking the accountability. That's the point. Not you, oh my God, I did this, I'm so horrible. Not personalizing it, but just taking the message, okay? Because we
Right.
missing it. We missing it.
Well, no, I'm not missing it
Yeah, I'm
because
not missing it.
I do actually acknowledge that those bitches out there do exist. I acknowledge that when I
But then
talk
you
to them.
said, fuck y'all. Like that's not
Well, yeah,
taking
at this
Because
point,
it comes off very dismissive.
no, look, at this point, it's fuck y'all, okay? Because when it comes to you
that's
telling me,
that's what I
you
understand.
calling cap on me, you know you got some friends that do so and so and so and so. Well, I'm telling you that I don't. Okay, so I'm not dismissing the fact that those bitches exist, and I'm not dismissing the fact that you experienced what you experienced. Sure, but you're not gonna ask me a question and then say, "Well, explain this." You know what they talking about. You know what so and so and so and so. You know you got friends that do so and so and so and so. And I'm like, well, actually, no, I don't, but I can give you some kind of perspective or whatever as to what maybe the mindset is, or maybe I can't because I can't relate. Don't sit here and call cap on me because that's not my fucking life, or or the life of any of the friends that I roll with, or that's in my circle or in my purview. That's not my fucking life. That's not my fucking family. Okay? When it is my family, I damn sure acknowledge that shit. But that's when it comes to fuck y'all when it comes to me.
Also, Kelly, how
Okay?
many times
Don't
was
sit
that
here and
said
call.
to you before you
That
got to
in
the
itself
first
says you're
sentence?
missing it. That in itself
No, I'm
says
not.
because you're
I'm
not
not
being
missing.
receptive to the message. That's
Yeah.
the whole.
No, I get the message because I never
You're
deny what their
missing it. No,
experience
But it
is.
still comes off a little dismissive though. Like
Well, yeah, they're dismissing me shit. They're dismissing me. So
again,
you
we
dismiss
don't
me and I
how
dismiss
it's
you. So it's fuck
being
y'all.
said. We don't like because it's triggering to some of our trauma or whatever's unhealed or healed, whatever.
That's the thing. I ain't
But
got no fucking
and
trauma
it's
like that.
okay. It may
That's what
not
I'm
be
saying.
you today, because of what they're talking about. But regardless, the point still stands. The message is being missed, and I think that shows up.
But that's
That
not
shows up
even
in
true.
all the panels.
But that's not even
That's
true
okay.
because
We
I
can
do
agree.
understand that those bitches are out there. I understand that.
I
I
think
see them from a distance, yeah,
no,
but
Callie. I
for
think
me to
you.
go ahead and effectuate
We're
any
the bitches
change or
though. We're
anything
the
like
bitches.
that, then that bitch has to be it. That has
We're the
that
bitches
bitch.
though. That's what I'm saying.
so even though, but that was one thing you just said. You said that you saw them from a distance. So being able to still acknowledge that they exist, I feel like that's why, like, you just can't dismiss what they're saying because even you just
I don't.
So what? So what the?
Why you going mute? Say it.
Go Nate. Go
That's what I'm
Nate.
saying. It's the same question. I'm gonna get the same answer. Go ahead, Nate.
So from my perspective, when it comes to the men and trying to address the behaviors of Black women, what they want us to do is the women that are out here trying to self-correct and get things right. They want us to correct others' behavior or will try to hold them accountable. See the things that they're doing and hold them accountable to what they're doing. Not per se, they're what am I trying to say? They're not telling us straight up like, oh, you did something to me. But no, there was a Black woman one point in time in my life that did X, Y, and Z to me. And now that there is a generation beneath us, it's time for us to correct those behaviors going forward.
Sure. And I will do that. And I do that with people that I have an influence over. But just some random bitch.
Right.
That's the thing, though. You got to look at it from this, right? We sitting here on HAMP show. HAMP got what, like 37,000 subscribers? Just think about it. You don't know who watching him. He goes viral. So you don't know what type of influence you can have on somebody.
Right. And when we
but I'm not talking to that person directly either.
No, but guess what?
All I can do is say what should happen and what women should do, right? And that's what I do. What women should do and what should happen and how they should conduct themselves and things like that. But at the same time, them same out of control bitches, they not here watching this fucking show.
We don't know that.
How do you know that?
Them crazy motherfuckers, they not watching this show. They out there in the street doing that fuck shit.
We don't know that. We can't say that.
Nah,
that's crazy.
I guess we should all just quit our jobs and make a woman's school.
No, there needs to be So the issue is when we sit and try to expound on everything that's going on in the community, we always have something negative to say instead of giving solutions to things. Okay, well, I seen such and such go through this, and this is what she did to pull herself out of it. Or I seen Billy Bob over here go through this, and this is what he did to pull himself out of it. Or I went through this personally, and this is the steps that I took towards bettering myself or bettering the situation. We're not giving solutions, but we're always talking negative.
You know what? I take that back because that viral clip or whatever like that, I got called all kinds of pick-me's and shit like that on different people's platforms, right? So I'll go ahead and I will give you that some of those bitches do see that shit, right? But at the same time, what are they doing when they see it? They're dismissing it. So unless I have a direct influence on them people and they actually value what the hell I have to say, and I can provide some kind of guidance to them or whatever, then at that point it's just me talking. If it's not on like some kind of one-on-one shit where I can sit here and like, look, homegirl, look. This is what this is what you doing. This is how they see that shit. This is how you need to correct it. I can sit here and do the shoulda, coulda, woulda shit all day long on these panels, right? But if I don't have that rapport with that female or whatever like that, it's gonna fall on deaf ears, and I'm just gonna be a pick me mammy or whatever the fuck it's gonna be. You see what I'm saying?
I don't think it's gonna fall on deaf ears because you never
know. I've been here too long. That shit falls on deaf ears unless you have some kind of.
You know that though, Callie. You can't say there ain't nobody out here watching that you're not influencing by the words that you're speaking because you don't know who's watching. Just because you're not giving it to them directly does not mean you're not influencing them. Before I became a part of this POV, I would sit up here and listen to y'all, and I would intake a lot of information that came from y'all. And guess what I started doing? Bettering myself when it came to the men panel and the women's panel. So you don't know who you're influencing. That's a fact.
Okay, I'll give you that. I'll concede that point. I will concede that point. I feel you on that.
There was one thing, Callie, like I didn't quite understand it. So correct me, I'm trying to recall it. But you aren't a proponent of abortion, right?
No, I'm not.
But
I will never encourage nobody to get no goddamn abortion.
But you were given reasons to justify why women should have the right to do so.
Yeah, I believe. I will never condone anybody to just go ahead and just start, deleting their kids, right? Whatever, because that's not something that I would do in my real life, right?
Uh-huh.
But at the same time, if I look at it objectively and I take myself out of it or whatever, then I do believe in certain restrictions, like you shouldn't be able to get no damn elective abortion after 12 weeks and everything like that. Just when it comes to this, objectively speaking, I would not. If I could create the law or whatever like that, then that would be it. No elective shits after goddamn 12 months. I don't give a fuck what's going on.
12
unless it's medically necessary. You know what I'm saying? Like mama finna die or some shit like that.
12
you know what I'm saying? But that's just me.
I'm laughing because you said after 12 months. I hope not, child. That baby.
No, I meant 12 weeks. Sorry. After the first trimester, after 12 weeks. You know what I'm saying?
Months. But I want to say that.
Yeah. I don't believe in that after shit.
Well, I guess what I was asking, real quick, love, if you don't mind. I guess I'm asking just because it sounds like it may not be this, because I understand what you're saying, but conflicting ideas, right? If you wouldn't do it because you need it's not right or not good for you, that's not something you would support. But then you would make a case for other women to do it. It just seems like That's a broken logic to me. And we look at these issues that seemingly arise in our community regarding abortion, but we want to make a way for something that you deem based on for yourself, not a path you would take. The reason why I bring that example up is because that seeming is like a thinking that permeates when we're like, let her do her, right? Where you're saying they ain't listening no way. And I think that can be pretty detrimental, especially if a person can be influential like yourself.
Well, I see your point, but when it comes to politics and stuff like that, I tread very lightly when it comes to legislating my personal beliefs onto the rest of the nation.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's just the beginning and the end of that. You know what I'm saying? I that just doesn't sit right with me. I wouldn't want anybody else to do that to me, so I don't feel like I should be able to do that to anybody else, legislation wise.
Dre with the $2 says, "Look at the beautiful." You got it. Well, let me read these. Dre with the $2 says, "Look at the beautiful black queens up there." I think Dre's single, ladies, just FYI.
What up, buzzing, bird, flip a dozen,
Uh-huh.
at your boy, you thought your cousin was.
Salute to my brother Dre on the grind who gifted one membership. Whoever got blessed with it, please maintain it. John in the building was shaking. Jonathan with the 20 ball says, all love, but 9 women up there, and it's never me. But the reality is most women don't see themselves. The same emotional responses, the same spiraling, being defensive, etc. Same behaviors as other women.
Shit like that. Shit like that. Shit like that. Shit like that.
Tony Golden was popping with the $5. Says, if you confronted someone and they was like, quote, yeah, I did it, whatever, end quote, you wouldn't be responding then how you responding now that HAMP has pointed it out. You responded?
I'm not sure. This must be an old one before I really said what I said, and maybe you didn't hear it, so I will be very concise. Me and him talk every day, all freaking day. He's my friend for over a decade. And so I was talking to him very comfortably and with familiarity. So I don't talk to him how I talk to unfamiliar strangers. So no, I didn't mean it whatever. He knows in real life that's not me being dismissive. That was me just talking regularly.
What up, buzzing, bird,
Ezekiel, what up?
Holla at your boy, you thought your cousin was. What up, buzzing, bird, flip a
Real salute.
Holla at your boy, you thought your cousin was. What up, buzzing, bird.
Appreciate you, Dre.
Holla at your boy, you thought your cousin was.
Salute to Ezekiel Ben Israel, Ak Shalawam, Rel in the building. And my brother Dre once again gifted 3 memberships altogether. Whoever got blessed for one, welcome to the family. Please maintain it. Fat Boy was popping. Good to see you. He says, salute to the panel. Appreciate you, my brother. Dre with the $2 says, guys, don't forget our council meeting this week. Dre with the $2 says, Council of Online Niggas, I see what you did there, Callie. Ezekiel Ben Israel with the $5 says, likes are low. Let's get the likes up. Get the likes up. Get the likes up.
Some
Mike
of that
Brown
shit
with
y'all
the
be sounding like coons.
Mike Brown with the $5 says, that's the disconnect. We see ourselves in other men. They separate themselves from each other. That ain't me syndrome. Ezekiel Ben Israel with the $5 says, Aja, abort mission, please. Oh, Melly Mel, been a member for 12 months. Just letting them talk, Camp. Onikasu with the $2 says, bruh, we can abort now. Niggas always been right. Arnold Allen with the $2 says, if y'all don't want to help, stop playing defense for the other women. Y'all are becoming part of the problem. Ezekiel Ben Israel with the $2 says, salute to Nay, man. He thought Nay was cooking. Still low key with the $5 says, Callie has defended some foul behavior by black women on these panels. Hey, all of y'all have. That's where accountability part comes in. Hank D.
Send another super chat and tell me the foul behavior that I defended or I tried to provide a different perspective on. There's a difference. So send that super chat or whatever like that. Make it about $10 for HAMP and his cheering and his wife.
Sending love to the ladies. And yo, Hank Deezy in the building, man. Salute. Good to see you. Remember for 16 months. Why is it never us, Nay, Jalen? Or is it actually you and you fronting? So
And see,
okay.
that's when I get mad when it comes to
So
that cap
Niggas
shit.
ain't
Cause you
talking to
don't.
Cali. Your name ain't Jalen on
All
there.
right.
I know I was about to say something. He said
I don't know.
Jalen.
He said
Name.
Jalen today. My
I'm gonna
bad. I
be
was
quiet.
half
I almost
listening.
said something too, Callie. Don't worry about it. I was like,
the never the it's never us syndrome, as Mike said. I think that's who said it. Is the lack of accountability as women, at the lack of accountability that women are taking as a whole. So as I said earlier, it like the same way your HAMP is trying to, get the solution to things when it comes to men and women. There has to be a woman willing to take that same position that HAMP is taking and try to hold the women to a certain standard when it comes to society. The same way society's holding men accountable, the men and the women need to start holding the women accountable. Because it's clear that women don't want to hold themselves accountable.
Okay. You think you do a good job of holding yourself accountable or what?
Most of the time.
Okay. What does that look like?
So I'm gonna just give an example, right? As a manager, I'm gonna speak from a career point of view.
Okay.
As a manager at Walmart, but I was a manager over 4 different departments. I had about 8 associates. When giving them a task and them not completing it because they didn't complete it, I had to be held accountable by my manager for the things that they didn't do, which then made me hold them accountable. So when you're able to see the accountability in a situation, it's not going to be a problem for you to hold yourself accountable. So I had to hold myself accountable for the things that my associates didn't complete, because at the end of the day, it's all going to fall on me. So when it comes to situations of Black women, it doesn't matter if it's you directly. Black women as a whole are going to be held accountable. You on mute, Hamp?
No, I'm talking to my wife. Smacking, eating steak, and talking about.
How long? But she ain't done nothing to you.
She walked off now. So, do you feel that you are accountable, Nick?
Yeah. I've learned to become more accountable for my actions.
Can you lead the pack? No pun intended. Not saying y'all like hyenas or nothing like that.
If I
No,
had,
because I said pack. I didn't want y'all to take it the wrong way.
I don't think nobody took it the wrong way, but you.
No, I'm saying like I was just clarifying, making
nobody
sure.
even thought that till you said it. He's trying to be funny. It was cute. Move on.
No. I was just saying.
Douchebag sometimes.
Y'all took it there. I wasn't trying to go there.
If I had to, yeah.
I think sometimes, like in real time, it is hard for us to process stuff. Just looking back on like a previous relationship, and talking to men, I can see how like my tone may not have been the best, and it could have made
No. Well. See, this is where the accountability starts to fall flat. It wasn't the best. How about it was trash?
Oh, okay. So my communication sometimes was trash.
Now, what about why sometimes though? Why you give
I was about
yourself?
to say, come on, Sai.
But y'all know I be forgetting the sometimes part. Okay.
This your Saw. Let me holler at you. This your moment.
Oh no.
For you to show these niggas what accountability look like. Go ahead.
Okay, so
you want the big screen?
No, I don't. Don't do that.
Yeah, give it a big screen, Hamp.
Okay, I'm not gonna say. Please don't do that.
Come on,
It
No. Makes her background clean. I think.
So.
Perfect. Let's go, Saad.
Y'all get on my nerves. Okay, so like I said, like talking to men on a daily basis, I realized like after I actually got out the relationship that my tone could have been like very dismissive. It could have like, made the situation very aggressive and just not the best. But I just feel like at times we don't be able to see that in real time. So it does take having some people to just like not self-correct us, but like just point it out so that we can hold ourselves accountable. So I think it does take a village to do that. So we do need to hold others accountable because, like I said, in real time, sometimes we don't get it, we don't see it. So,
do you think it's because we always listen to respond and not just listen?
Of course, most absolutely.
And so then, is that still taking accountability? If we all,
so if we listening to respond and then just depending on like the situations, feelings could be high, and that plays a lot of part too. So.
Okay. Good try, Sarah. Good try. Now, Jalen, why is it never us on the panel? Why is it these men experiencing some phantom woman outside? I dealt with enough women to know women that have gotten on my nerve act like you, act like Nay, act like Love,
don't bring
act
me
like Asha,
you love us,
act like Saad, act like Alexis from Texas, act like Callie, act like Tay, act like Rebecca. So how in the world are y'all ain't a semblance to those women? Why is it always, hey, that's his experience, so we have to? No, nigga, you were that experience before. Why don't y'all just say that? You were the woman that we wanted to cuss out. You were the woman that was late to the date. You were the woman that took long to get dressed. We had Rebecca was just getting dressed when we got on the street. Rebecca was still in process. God damn it.
She was.
Huh? You the woman with the attitude. You the woman being dismissive. You the woman moving my shit around in my house when I told you not to, but it was better for you because you the one that think you had to cook. But I need to know where my peanut butter is.
Are you asking Jalen? You asking anybody?
Jalen. She know what I'm
Oh, okay. I'm gonna go on mute. I thought she. Okay.
Yeah, nigga hut. Huh? Huh?
One behavior.
We got a perfect life ahead. Hold on, Callie. We got a perfect life ahead of us, but you don't want to move to be with me, huh?
Oh my
Tell me, why is it always somebody else? Why it's not you?
Because I move.
I'm not talking to Callie Beverly. A nigga named
you
Beverly.
You say y'all. You say y'all and you name me. See, that's that shit I be talking about.
I'm not talking to anybody named Beverly. Gotta chill. They don't got a lot of energy. That's one thing. If your name Beverly, you already up there in age. You gotta chill. You don't got, that gas tank gonna run out. Just
all
chill.
Right. Let me change my name to Beverly.
Jalen.
So there are a lot of those behaviors that you named that I could say on an individual level, yes, I have displayed. However, when we start talking about more of the more extreme or like very much wrong or absurd examples that men love to bring up, I'm gonna put my foot down and be like, no, I can't wear a jacket on for that.
What's absurd?
I'm not a single mom. I don't be hitting men. I don't be throwing shit at men. I don't be doing none of that. That's not me. That's not a jacket I can wear. That's not something I can necessarily explain. All I can do is maybe assume why she did those things.
I've seen you
but I
punch a guy
can't.
before.
No, I've never punched a guy before.
You punch a guy? Well.
No, I've
When we
never
was
thrown anything at a guy.
the
No,
restaurant.
huh?
At the restaurant, you punched him. I think he was trying to eat your food. I guess it was warranted.
I don't remember that, but anyway. But the extreme examples, I just won't wear a jacket for.
So the extreme is hitting somebody, not being a single. Is single mom extreme?
For me, because I'm not a single mom.
But is it
Never
extreme?
had it. On an individual level, yes, it's extreme per my experience. Because I've never had an abortion, never had children. It's not my experience. So for me, it's extreme. But overall, no, it's not an extreme
It's
example.
non-existent, right? So what it is extreme would have to be what. So if the majority of women have kids, we have this many abortions over the span of this many years. That wouldn't be an extreme thing to be a part of, right? Which is the issue. If it was extreme, it would be less of an issue. But the fact that it's been normalized, it's not extreme.
Right, but in that same breath, so even on the panels when I would be up there with you and the men sometimes on Fridays, right? You would kind of ask the women up there to kind of give a explanation as to why women feel like it's okay to have elective abortions or why single mothers act the way they do to the children's father. I can only make assumptions, but that's not my experience. So therefore, I'm not wearing a jacket for those things.
Okay, so what about the more tangible things, right? Like let's say casual sex, promiscuous sex. Where do we land there? Callie said 4, you a hoe. That's what she said. Callie, get on camera so they can see you. There you go.
Okay, well, I'm definitely not a hoe yet. Thank you, Callie, I guess. But I have had forms of casual sex before. Yeah. That led to relationships.
What that mean?
Yeah. Some of the encounters I've had in my repertoire have been casual and it led to some different. Sure.
No. Right.
Okay.
Well, because that's the qualifier, right? Women try to say, "Oh, it wasn't a one night stand." Well, it was a 3-week one night stand. Like y'all try to give credence to shit that don't have no credibility. Oh, I dated him for 3 months. Who gives a fuck? You was fucking him for 3 months. Stevie Wonder could see that, right? But we try to put this quantifiable thing like, no, it was substantive. How can you prove it?
Because if not, you get the jacket that you're a whore.
Yeah, but you give it arbitrary credence to justify the fact that you or her aren't a whore, right? But the truth is the behavior is just that. It don't matter that you dated them for 3 months. You've been defiled. But 3 months is supposed to give it some type of credibility. When the truth is the behavior is the behavior.
So in real time, what would that type of accountability look like? Me calling myself a whore or admitting that I've had casual sex? What would that look like?
What's more impactful to you to change your behavior?
For me to change my behavior? That I've had casual sex and from this point on, I will abstain. To me, that's what that looks like. You saying you have a goal set and you adhering to it. Calling myself a whore? No, that's not what I'm about to do.
Why?
Because I'm not a whore.
Why?
Because the stereotype of what a whore is, I'm not.
What's the stereotype? That's what I'm asking.
That she jumps from penis to penis, dresses in a promiscuous manner, treats sex as a casual sport to the point where she's had sex with so many men she don't even remember who she had sex with 2 weeks ago.
No. So Callie
No.
said you already a hoe with 4 bodies. So if you not sexing, but you performing not cunnilingus, what am I looking for?
Fellatio.
Fellatio, right? And doing
Mhm.
different things with men, right?
Mhm.
Right? That have no intentions for you, right?
Mhm.
Which then defile you by proxy. Why would you not qualify?
The
Right?
same reason
Like, don't we got to keep it tall with ourselves if we gonna really
to keep it
effectuate
tall
change?
that I have had casual sex and I will no longer have casual sex. Yes.
Well, so the
But
casual
to
sex.
berate myself as a woman and
Mhm,
sit here and
mhm,
call myself a whore is
mhm.
not going to get me nowhere. I know what it takes to self-correct myself. I know what it takes to achieve a goal for me. Calling myself a whore is not going to do that. It's just going to cause a form of low self-esteem to exist and see me as lesser than as a human being, which I don't think is a good trajectory to be on.
Isn't that what that is, though? If your
What?
behavior qualifies you as something, you have to know and be that, right? And
Mm-hmm.
then work to not wear that. Excuse me. Work to overcome
The
that
action.
that connotation, right?
You
But
work
the
to
casual
overcome the
sex,
action.
well, the casual sex is the act. What are you for doing that act? Is the question. That's how you start to overcome shit. But the casual sex is the act itself. But what does that qualify you as? See, you have to admit that you're an alcoholic. You can't say I drink a lot. We drink together. No, I gotta say I'm an alcoholic. And E-Dub said that profoundly in the chat in the Discord. He said, I'm an alcoholic. I've been sober for 10 years. But what did he
Okay.
start it with? I'm an alcoholic.
That's amazing. However, there are plenty of alcoholics that go through those same form of steps and still end up going on benders and never end up changing and
I'm
possibly
not saying it's 100% flawless.
right, which is why I'm saying I know what works for me to get me where I'm trying to go.
Hmm.
Me putting myself in a box of a whore is not going to get me where I need to go. There are other forms of me holding myself accountable that work. I've done them. It's not just a theory, it's applied. So if I know that a step or a form of like correction that works for me, that's what I'm going to do. It may not be of approval of everybody else, but it gets me to a positive standpoint in my life.
Yeah,
So I don't care how it looks to everybody else.
Yeah, I just know niggas is hard headed.
Yeah,
Right?
of course. Yeah.
Biblically speaking, since time immemorial. And we like to speak smooth things unto ourselves, right? Because it's palatable and easier. But the truth is, you are what you are. And the only way you change it is by admitting it in the first place. And I just don't know if the sugarcoating, by and large, is going to be what's the word I'm looking for? Successful or right?
Beneficial.
Wouldn't sugarcoating
that-
be I've had casual sex, but it's okay?
No,
That wouldn't be
that's
sugarcoating.
justification. That's not sugarcoating.
That's a form of sugarcoating, justifying your actions.
No. The messaging is this is bad. You saying it's okay. That's just a justification. Sugarcoating is making it more palatable, making it easier for somebody to absorb, seemingly. But the truth is, they can miss the message totally. If I say it's okay, the message is there's nothing wrong with casual sex. That's a different message. Go ahead.
Okay, I disagree, but I could see your point in that. I think they coincide. So that's just something where we're just gonna differ at.
What? Saying it's okay and then saying making it softer are the same?
Yeah, trying to kind of like how women, when we give advice to our friends, we be like, "I get it, you made a mistake. It's okay. Just do better next time."
You talking about an outside person?
Like our homegirls, our best friends, the people that we're close to. Most of us don't go to them offering correction in a more abrasive form. We try to understand where they're coming from and then give them advice from there. And it's not usually like abrasive.
Yeah. And it's ineffective. Are you guys seeing change from behavior from approaching each other like that?
I don't talk to my friends like that. I like
Well,
we.
not the outliers, because what Jalen's saying is more normal. So, are you guys effectuating? Yes, ma'am. Are you effectuating change within these friend groups by making everything palatable and sugarcoating it?
Oh hell
No,
no.
you can see the
No.
No,
behavior.
Because we be
no,
arguing.
you're not.
Which is the point.
You're not gonna agree, but you're not gonna agree with it. But I'm just gonna say it. A balanced conversation usually breeds a better result. You berating your friend, most women you lose them in the end, and they just gonna keep doing what they doing. If you're too soft with them, they're just gonna keep doing what they doing. So you giving them a balance of that, from my experience, usually breeds a better result.
Okay. Yeah, I understand how I think that could work, right? Even when we have the conversations, right? Generally speaking, if I approach a topic which we like, somebody will be going at one of the chicks, right? And I'll clarify the point, right, in a particular way, in which case they'll be like, okay, that makes sense.
Yeah,
So
you
I
being that
catch your drift.
balance.
Yeah, I catch your drift. That makes sense. I guess the premise that we were going back and forth about was
Yeah.
me holding myself to high regard. And I'm not sugarcoating nothing with myself. I think you have to be 100% with yourself in order to, because that's where the real change starts to happen, right? It's very difficult to hold people accountable if they don't hold themselves accountable first. So I think we just got to push ourselves to be better, and then all the outside things should be catalyst to where we want to go. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
push yourself to be better, but putting yourself in a box for me is not gonna work.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. I understand it, but we admit that we have exuded or done things that
Hmm.
speak to some of the talking points, right? And I'm saying some because it's like you said, not all of them, right? You don't fit the
Yeah,
baby mama thing, but it could be other things, right? So it's a bunch of
yeah,
them, right? Okay.
yeah.
I think that's a solid start. I think that's a solid foundation, generally speaking. Rebecca, now you gave a little bit of credence to one thing Love has said, right? Because you used a possessive pronoun, their experience, when the guys are talking. So is it their or experience, or is it credible for them to capitulate that experience to over, a majority of women in their conduct?
Yeah, no, definitely the majority. So I might have used that word wrong, but definitely the majority of like the conduct of women, even from what I've seen. So
Okay. Because that was the only thing, because Love was kind of saying one thing, and then you opened up and then you close with that statement, kind of like, this is what they're going through. Um,
yeah, and the only reason why I said it like that was because they're the ones that are kind of expressing it. So it's them expressing it, but not necessarily like, oh, they just are having these experiences out of nowhere.
okay. Oh, okay. I understand the clarification. Ash, so you new to this. So a lot of it's being said. We had a conversation today where it was what's fucking our community up the most in terms of like our relationships, what's happening. And it was alleged that the conduct of women and us being under a matriarchal kind of society in the black culture, with alpha women and women surpassing men and whatever else you said. What do you think about all this? Do you think the women are the main issue in our relationships? You think it's men? You think it's racism? Have we been pitted against each other? What's your take?
Hmm. I would say it would differ on different spectrums. Based on different perspectives of how people were growing up, what they were surrounded by, um, and what they were exposed to. Certain behaviors are inherited in people, and some of those inheritance kind of travel with you along the way. And sometimes you can't get rid of them because that's what you're accustomed to. And sometimes you could, because now we have therapy. Therapy can work for one, but it may not work for another.
Come on, Oz. Come on. Going with some spectrum shit and we are the world and all. So
I'm for real.
when
I
you
feel
look at the
like
state of
it's
relationship,
two different.
all right,
I feel like it's
let's go ahead and get to it. So in your relationships,
right.
who fucked it up? Let me know.
We talked about accountability. I think both parties are accountable for the different actions. I could say half of me, half of the other part.
Yeah, keep it tall. So if somebody had a camera in that house and they looking and seeing and they following y'all on every date and every interaction, who would they blame? It's a broadcast.
Ah! I would say I'll keep it neutral. I'm with said tonight. I'm gonna keep it neutral.
Who would they blame? Keep it tall, man.
I don't like to point fingers.
Point them. It sound like you. That's what it's coming across. You know that, right? It sound like it was your fault.
It wasn't my fault.
Uh-oh.
I just feel like I feel like you get tired of going through the same thing, like, and the same thing not changing.
Mm-hmm.
Just like, I don't know. Growing up, I seen certain things happen. I seen certain things happen. Like if you ask somebody to do something, like a man come home from work, he want his food on the table. You got his food on the table. If I ask a man to go and put something, like go and put something on the wall, go put the TV up, and it's taking you longer to do things, like I start getting irritated. So it's certain. I guess it's like, it's certain things that you grow up around. Like you grow up, you see certain things, and you expect those same things to be, kind of played or fast forward into your household. And when those certain things don't happen, you kind of get irritated and you get frustrated, and that kind of impacts or ruin relationships. I don't know. Would you disagree?
Okay. So what was happening? He wasn't delivering, or your demands was too high? You was giving him what he wanted, but he was taking too long to hang the TV up and shit like that? Like what you saying? Like who dropped the ball?
I feel like my needs at a time, they weren't on the same platform, and the needs of the other one kind of plateaued, and maybe it was me. I don't know.
He couldn't live up to you, or what? What you think? Who was in charge?
Me. Yeah. I was in charge.
So you was holding him accountable and all that?
I mean, men want to be the provider, right? They want to be the head of the household.
Mm-hmm.
So sometimes I wouldn't say sometimes you play your part, but sometimes you try to play your part, and then when you try to hand over and allow the men to lead,
what do you mean? What do you mean? Sometimes you play your part, and sometimes what are you talking about? You just said
you try to be sometimes you try to be the woman. Sometimes you try to be the woman in the household. Like you try to be the woman, and you try to follow your man. You try to follow.
With me. Take this walk with me. Trying to follow is nasty work. First of all, I'm glad you said that. So you was in charge, telling him what to do. He wasn't living up to your standard. You're trying to follow, but you can't because you don't respect him. What it sound like is you paving the way for boy. Were you out of order biblically? It's a broadcast.
Uh, I want to say I was out of order biblically. I would say if biblically, if there was more,
Say it again. What word you say?
you said biblically, right? Like the
Bib-
Bible?
Is there an L in there? Did you put an L in there?
No, I didn't. That's what you said.
No, no. First off, don't put that jack on me. biblically, biblically.
Come on.
Yo. so, so, so,
Get on my nerves.
were you out of order, biblically speaking?
I would say Christ could have relied more in our household.
Come on, son. Just answer the questions the way you know what the answer is. Biblically speaking, were you out of order?
Defined
Defined
You said you were the woman of the household. That means the head, right?
I wasn't the head. I was allowing him to lead.
Oh, got it. Okay.
I did
Yo,
say
you
that.
just said it.
I did say that. I said I was allowing him to lead. And then
you
at certain
tried
points,
to- come
no,
on.
I said at certain points, it was hard to follow.
It says the head of every man is Christ, and the head of every woman is the what? Huh? Don't try to act frozen. Can you hear me? You trying to act frozen?
I did that?
you trying to fucking act frozen? Yo, grow
You see how
up.
I did that?
Goddamn mannequin challenge.
I am crying.
Come on, man. Come on, bro. Come on, man.
Xfinity. Nope. Mm-mm.
Yo, come on. Y'all ain't shit, man. Come on, man. You answering the question, man. Yo, listen.
Don't blink.
Yo, you twitched for a second. Yo, guys, here's the truth, yo. It's us. It ain't no phantom woman. It's us. Come on. Like, we gotta stop. Like, even when the brothers be like, oh no, I get bitch, I get women, I get pussy. Stop it, fam. Like, you gotta know the way we be speaking, like as men, with so much vigor, is because you know what that shit feel like. It ain't just about seeing it happen to somebody else, right? I know what disrespect feel like from a woman because I've experienced it, right? It ain't about a nigga, some ghost nigga getting disrespected around me. I've seen it before. You know what I'm saying? You can tell when somebody's speaking from experience, and you can tell when they kind of reading a book, right? So when we have such pushback to all this shit that's being said and etc., because we them. Why we can't be honest? We them. Allow him to lead. This nigga wasn't doing what I wanted him to do. Fuck out of here. Come on, this us. Like, yo, come on. Callie on mute. Paul praises.
Hush. I figured it out. Okay. Took me 5 seconds. But look. Okay, submission is a voluntary act.
It's hard.
Okay. So I don't see the problem. Hey, White School Podcast. Hey. But look, I don't that's my girl. That's my old girl right there. But
White school, what's up?
But look, even it's a voluntary act, so I don't see the problem with allowing him to lead because it is voluntary at the end of the day. I am voluntarily subjecting myself to your leadership. If I wanted to fight it, I could, but I'm not. That is voluntary. Okay.
No.
See, that's
What-
the thing, because there's no choice. There is no choice. That's what I'm finding out. There
Yeah.
is no choice. You have no choice. You allowing him is giving yourself a choice.
Well,
You
there
have,
is a choice because
there
I
is
don't
no
have to be
choice.
in this
You
relationship.
married? Aren't you married?
Yes,
So there's no choice, right?
right.
It's
But
no
I
choice.
chose to be married and
Okay.
and be submissive to him, whether
Yeah.
whether that's to a fault or not. And I can always legally jump ship. You know what I'm saying? If
See,
need be.
I don't want no part. See, that's what I'm saying. That's the shit I don't want. Like, that's what I'm
Well,
Callie,
no,
but you
what I'm
but you
saying is
just
because
did
it's
it in real
voluntary.
time. You are women by even making that statement. You are the women
No,
that they talking about.
but it's
Like
still
that's
voluntary. It's still
no,
voluntary.
no, no.
No,
But it's
at
not
the
even
bottom
about that.
line, it's
But
voluntary.
you are the women that they're complaining about with those statements though. And we always try to act like it ain't us. What I always say, Jalen, we all
They
got
can
our
take the
drawers on the
statement
outside of
wrong
our
if they
pants,
want
right?
to. They can
We
take the
all
statement. They can.
superheroes up here for some reason. No, it's
They can.
actually us.
They can take the statement wrong if they want to.
It's not
Okay.
about wrong. It's about what's
Yeah, it's
being
wrong.
exuded and said. Because Tay said, "You married, right?" You say
Mhm.
yes. There
Mhm.
is a hierarchical structure in marriage that you abide by once you take on the mantra of husband and wife. There is no
Correct.
choice. You made the choice once you decided to get married, but you think,
Exactly.
wait, but you think that you can manipulate it how you see fit, and then you hit us with the honey bun saying, I'm just gonna jump ship if I don't like it. That's literally what the men be saying.
No. Cause see, if it's of detriment to your own self and the children in said marriage, yes. Okay. If the cons outweigh the pros, and I'm not talking on no frivolous shit. I don't do that frivolous shit any. No. That's what I don't do. Okay? I'm not talking about some, oh, well, he wouldn't watch a movie with me, so now I'm finna jump ship because I ain't happy, or we don't go out on dates 2 times a week or 2 times a month or whatever the fuck. Now I'm finna jump shit. No, I'm not talking on no frivolous shit. So let's not go ahead and get that twisted. Okay? I'm not talking on no frivolous shit. If it's a detriment to himself and or the children, then, and I'm talking about outside of extreme shit like cheating or physical abuse. I'm not talking about that shit. Okay, because that's pretty much like, aside from the cheating thing, because you can forgive that if you want to. It depends on your temperament, whatever, like that. I'm not talking about no extreme shit like cheating or physical abuse. Outside of that shit, okay, if it affects yourself, the man, or the children, and what kind of role model that you are portraying to our children, then I have the right to jump ship because it is no longer beneficial for the family, not me, because I'll stay and suffer through some bullshit. But if it's detrimental to the children in and of itself, then I feel like the woman has a right to jump ship and unhitch that motherfucking wagon for the sake of the children.
It's hard to be submissive.
Period.
but it sounds like you're making decisions. I thought you gave that up. I don't know.
No,
Okay.
but
Yeah, maybe I got it all
but
wrong.
but look, once your decisions start affecting the family in a negative way, then I have to do what I have to do to save your own progeny because you can't seem to be able to do so.
Like what? Gambling
So
all the mortgage away? Like what are we talking? Like what are we talking? Because I don't see, I don't know. I'm not getting it just doesn't jive with what they trying to tell us. I
Yeah,
think.
it ain't about me. It's not about me personally. It ain't about the woman personally.
Right. So
It's
you can't
about the betterment of the whole of the family, more so the children. Okay, so if you are displaying negative attributes that will affect your children, then I have the right to jump ship.
so we aren't
That's just what I feel.
women aren't portraying traits that are negative.
Oh no,
That
I never said that. I never said that a man don't have a right to go on ahead and jump ship his damn
can't
self.
stand on that
Because
then.
it because if she's doing some shit that is a detriment to the household and to the family, specifically the children, then yeah, he has a right to jump ship as well. Please believe it.
Then what are we doing? Like, if
What you
everybody's
mean?
what we doing?
No, that's what I'm saying. I don't believe. I'm not talking about no frivolous shit. That's what I'm saying. Like I don't.
Okay,
I'm
what's
not talking
not
about no
frivolous?
frivolous.
What's not
What's
frivolous?
not what's
You
not frivolous? What's not frivolous?
talking
Alcoholism is not frivolous. Where you sitting over here and you
about
displaying behaviors or whatever like that, and you just a fucking alcoholic walking around here stumbling around the goddamn house and shit like that or whatever. Not being, especially if you have male children, not being a leader of your own household where you defer all shit to your fucking wife type shit. That's not frivolous shit where you're not even displaying leadership qualities that you need to go ahead and display to your own progeny in order for them to be successful husbands or whatever like that to be able to lead their own families.
but
That's
you
not
gotta let him
frivolous shit to
lead
me.
though. You say you gotta let him, be the head of the
Right.
household.
I'm letting him lead. But if I see that
You can't
that you are
let
leading your
him do anything.
but if I see that you are letting your if you are leading your own children to not be leaders of their own households, that's a fucking problem.
I'm not sure what that looks like because I don't have kids, but I need somebody else to explain it to me because I'm not getting it.
I don't.
So
It just
if every time your sons come to you and ask you something and you be like, "What did your mama say?" That's a problem for me because I just deferred them to you and told them to ask you.
So
And
not
then you turn around and you come and say, "Well, what did your mom say?" No, I sent them over there to you and I explained this to you already. I'm going on mute. This
so
is
it's
too much.
him not being a leader.
right. That's what I picked up.
Yeah,
But you
that's
gotta let him lead though. First of all, you're letting him lead, and then you're surprised that he's not a leader. So like that makes sense. Okay, never mind.
No, I'm letting him lead, but then he's sitting over here and he's telling I'm going on mute. Fuck this.
Well, no, I mean, no, I got it. I get that's what you're saying. It's like you're. It makes sense now because you're letting him lead, meaning he's clearly not leading effectively because you're letting him. Right? Like it should be an option. That's my point. That's my point.
No, it's not an option. It's not an option after you going on ahead and you've made this decision to subject yourself to his leadership, right? But
Let
if
him.
I'm saying that you are the leader and then you're deferring all decisions to me after I've told your kids to go to you for leadership, then that's a problem for me. Period.
Yo, mm, this,
Wouldn't that be negated before you marry him? Like you would vet him to kind of see how he is, before getting yourself into that situation? Because you could.
Sure.
Okay.
Sure. Yes. But here is the pros and cons or whatever of marrying young. And I'm gonna just say I'm you know what? I'm telling my business.
oh my goodness. All right. So where we at with it? Well, wife school, what you think, man? What's popping, man? Good to see you. How are you?
How you guys doing?
All
Um,
right.
well, relationships in the Black community have been on eggshells, on rocks, on fire, blown up, taped back together, duct tape, hanging on by a thread. And all the information that we have, we still can't manage to get it together. And it's really sad. Um, I see the situations where the men, want to take lead, but also I see a lot of women that have been hurt behind a lot of men. So we have to establish trust again. And that just starts by just being kind to one another, being friendly to one another, not, not saying things. I saw your show earlier today, not, saying jabs at people. Can you comb your hair like this? Stuff like that. Like, that makes, women even more upset. Like, don't make each other upset. Like, can we greet each other like, hey, brother, what's up, sister, what's up? Not every woman is your woman. Not every woman has to submit to you, like, but they can be your sister. You know what I'm saying? Not every man is your man. You don't have to submit to every man, but to your husband, to God, and your father. So we can't hold everyone accountable, but we can hold actions accountable. You know what I'm saying? Like, respect, or how we should govern ourselves as men, how we should govern ourselves as women, mothers, sisters, and things like that. I just think we just need to do a little bit better without making it being offended by everything. You know.
Well, I
Also,
think that's where it kind of get messed up though, because I would say like personally, like
mhm,
once that security is kind of broken, like it's hard to repatch those type of areas that
mhm,
has been like torn away. Like it's hard. Like it'll take like a different type of voice, a different type of like ear, a different type of hearing to like get back to your normal self. Like once people like lose your trust and
mhm.
and you feel like dishonest within that relationship, like it's hard to come back from that.
It's hard. I mean, I've been in a situation. I've been through, like, I feel like every facet of like dating, of like just trusting my own self and doing things the wrong way, or thinking that I'm doing things the right way, or like how it's been stated, letting a man lead, or like by like like not letting him lead, but like being a passenger in his leadership. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, a lot of us, we don't understand ourselves. We don't know ourselves. We take on these big relationships, these big tasks, these things that we don't even that we're not even equipped to handle, you know. And sometimes we stay long in situationships that we shouldn't, and laid with people that we shouldn't. We knew intuitionally that we shouldn't, but we did. Um, and so sometimes I think we don't trust ourselves, and like you said, yeah, once trust is broken, now we don't trust ourselves enough to get back, to make the right decision. So it's just a whole bunch of things. Like, I think a lot of us need to step back, get better, and then come back to the pool instead of just making a cesspool of things, and getting out here and being hurt. And then now we have a congregation of hurt people spewing hurt things. And now I'm listening and I'm like, man, I'm getting offended because I'm a single mom. And
I
but
Who's
think
making the
somebody
that
determination?
will love you. Somebody will take you on. Somebody will love that man. Somebody will love that simp. And it's just that I just think we don't see the possibilities because we keep focusing on the negative things.
Yeah, but if you're in a
I think
relationship, but all right, so if you're in a relationship and you're getting to know personalities of one another, and you're allowing this guy to lead, would that be considered settling? Because we have some individuals on this line or this panel that are married, and they have, I guess, you know, in the Bible, you're supposed to allow the male to lead. But if you're in a relationship and you just sit back, would that be considered settling? If you allowing just your boyfriend to lead, like at what point do you allow the man to lead?
Um, well, if you're in the like dating stages, you see who he is. You let him show up as that leader. You look for the cues. You look for the substance. You look for the fruit of him being a leader. If that man is sustainable in his own life, if he contributes to other people around him, if he's able to just lead in his own life, then I would say he has the characteristics of a leader. See how he acts around his family. So you have to, get this person in different environments to see who that person is. Then you have a better chance of choosing a better leader. You know what I'm saying?
So,
Instead of, saying like, wow, this guy's really cute. And
but
not saying
it's
you, but
the well, go ahead. I want to make sure Jalen get in, so we
mhm,
need a little bit of. We got to kind of bring this kind of back together. So,
mhm,
Jalen, what were you trying to say?
mhm.
No, I think for most women, the main problem is the expectations that we put on ourselves or that we take on of what society expects us to be, or at, depending on our age, where we're supposed to be. Like a lot of the situations that we end up with men, we end up in them because, let's be honest, a lot of us expected us to be married at a certain age, expected to have children at a certain point in our life. We have expectations and goals that we're trying to reach, and we fill a certain spot um in a relationship with a man that may not necessarily be right. He may exude some red flag traits and we don't give a shit because we're just filling a gap because we're trying to become a mom by 35. We're trying to become a wife at 20, 28, whatever. We're just trying to reach these milestones.
I understand that, right? I think the milestones have changed, but I catch your drift, right? I think
Yeah, they've changed, but it's still
well, no,
shit
but
that we're
people are setting these goals, right? And they have an aspiration. I'm not. I'm just saying the milestones can be kind of debated, I guess, which one is which. But yeah, people have goals, and they'll make them, and then they'll put placeholders, and maybe where another option would probably make more sense, right? But they want to
yeah,
meet that goal at a particular time, so people make exceptions or whatever the case is, right? But
yeah.
here's the issue, right? As I'm listening through it, saying the woman herself is trying to discern if that man's a leader. But what will happen in that is she's making the determinations. And at any point in time she want them qualifications to change, they will. If she don't think he's a good dad or a good leader or a good this, or this is a detriment, now I can move on because I don't like how he's doing things. Think about
You know,
how that lines up and think about in what other microcosm of leadership do you get to do that to who's in charge? You know what? I don't like it. Then I'm gonna disqualify what you do, your behaviors, your efforts. That seems dangerous, right? And who vetted that man in the first place for you objectively, right? So prove to me that you can lead. You for what? Are you a leader? Who taught you what a leader looks like? How do you discern it? How do you make these decisions? But it's almost based on what she wants at that time. How can he sustain that? It seems unsustainable to be honest.
Yeah, that's very unsustainable. And that leaves no room for love, like it just avoids it. Like you give him no grace. And, he may not have had that experience that you're expecting him to lead in. So, if you're not giving him a chance to like maybe try it, fail, and come back and pivot and do something else, how do you know that he had the capability of doing that too? But still, like living like that's a lot of pressure on him, to perform for
And
her.
wife school. And who and the women in the earth, and you can use yourselves, when you got with a man, the one that got away, were you in a place where you prepared yourself to be led? It's a broadcast.
Are you
Yes.
just talking to? I'm sorry. Were you
Oh,
just talking to
are you
white
talking
school
to
now?
all?
sorry. I kind of pose it to white school, but like
Oh,
everybody, right? Use yourself. Use where you saying, "Hey, I'm." So you understand, right? People have to fit together, right? So we'll be like clay, So you'll have a form, and it'll take its shape once you get to with that specific person. Because men have a lot of general needs and wants, but there's gonna be things that have nuance, right? That you have to fit in.
mhm.
But the mold should at the very least be there, right? Because it's not about you discerning if he's a leader. It's you being in a place to where you can
You
take
can
on that
follow.
role. Yeah.
Mhm.
So the one that got away, the men that you come across, have you put yourself in a position to be in the right mold to take on all your duties and responsibilities and become an asset and not a liability?
No.
Yes, I tried my best. I didn't say it perfect, but I tried. Yeah.
No.
Okay. So Jason, no. Wife school said damn close, if not yes. Um
I tried.
Rebecca, Asha,
Oh,
Saad,
I'm sorry.
Tay.
I'm learning to be that person that is a better follower.
I was about to
So
say in the past, hell no. But proactively, yes.
Yeah, no, in the past, definitely. The one that got away, I was not ready.
Yeah.
But I think I'm in a different place now. So yeah.
Asha?
In the past, no.
You think you're ready now?
God's still working on me.
I'm gonna talk to that nigga later. I'm gonna see what I can do for you.
Talk to all of us.
Yes.
I was talking. Hey, wife school. I was talking to him yesterday. He's like, "That's your cousin." I'm like, "Yeah, chill." Callie, like what you just think about the premise, right? Let's say outside, are women in that mold to be ready to take on their role as it pertains to marriage? Because the reason why I'm saying marriage, because marriage has an absolute structure that we don't have to try to discern what's what, right? It already has it's a biblical concept, so it already has order to it. You see, that's why I'm saying, are women ready to take on their roles within that construct that's already defined?
Majority, I would say no.
Okay.
Majority, I would say no. Um,
What about the men? Are the men ready to take on their role in that construct?
Depending on age,
The average marriage age is 28 to 32.
Mm-mm.
28 to 32.
No.
I would say majority, no.
Okay. Who's closer, you think?
As far as women ready to follow versus women ready, I mean, women ready to follow versus men ready to lead
Mm-hmm.
around that same age group, I would say who's more ready? Majority, I would have to say men would be more ready than women.
What do you guys think about that same exact question? Do you think men are more ready and women are more ready? And I have a follow up. I just want to get you guys. So Callie said men are a little bit closer. Jalen?
I can't answer that. I don't know.
Speculate.
I would say the men are ready because
Hold on, wife
they're the
school.
ones that are. Oh, sorry.
Yeah, she almost done answering. Go ahead, Jalen.
No, I don't know.
Just speculate. It's just an exercise. Before Jalen answers, she's just speculating. Okay.
Please, because
Go ahead.
I would say women.
Coach K.
That age, I would say the women.
Rebecca.
I would say the men.
Ash.
I would probably say the women.
Saad.
Can you repeat the question? I'm sorry. Can you repeat the question?
Who's more ready for marriage between 20 and 32, men or women?
I would say woman.
Wife school? What you say and why?
I think the men are because I don't think we give them credit enough that they want families, and settle down and have legacy. And they're the ones that control access to marriage, because they get on their knee to ask the woman. So I think that they're gearing up and have their mindset and want to get everything right and in place to make propose that question.
Mm-hmm.
I
Can
disagree.
can I?
I s- I
Oh,
Go ahead.
say I say
Hold
the
on, hold on,
men.
Kelly. Let Rebecca go.
Okay.
Go ahead.
So the reason why I'm saying men, because I didn't do the explanation, but the reason why I'm saying men is because I don't. I think it's really any age, obviously, because we're not really, and anybody could disagree with me, but we're not really taught that as far as like our emotions, we're not taught to be like, oh, you can't do this, you can't cry, you gotta, men are taught like you gotta be a man, you gotta do this, you gotta do that. We're coddled, from birth to be able to do things that men are not able to do emotionally. So I think that's a leading factor in what would prepare them to be a leader or be that husband for that wife.
I mean, when we talk about leader, then yeah, I would say a man. But when I think about marriage, I feel like for me, and just my anecdotal experience, um, I had a lot of trials and tribulations I had to go through early on that I was able to learn from. So now I'm being 33, having a realization is like now I could see more insight on what to do and how to do it. So that's just my take.
That's why you think women are more prepared.
Okay, so men, yeah.
Okay. Men. We had three that said women. Jalen, Asha, Tay. All right, babe. You talking to me?
yeah, I think it was more. I think I said women because it was more of an emotional outburst, but women, having a time clock and like I think one of the ladies on the panel said earlier that we have a time clock. We want to have children. Some people, in our society in the Black community cells, you have a lot of women nowadays that's hereditary. They're getting fibroids, so they're having to get total hysterectomy. So women are trying to like meet their match very young, and very young in the game so that they can build a family, they can grow. But some people time clock run out, sadly. So I was thinking more so women, because I know dating back to myself personally, I wanted to be married, I wanted to have kids, and that was something that I really wanted. But the older you get, you really kind of dive into like trying to get who you are as a person when you went through failed relationships and things like that.
So, what makes you more prepared?
As a woman, I feel like is you go through what you grow through what you go through, and there's different life lessons that I have came across, as far as like taking ownership of the next steps in life, and kind of making the pathway and making it make sense for my life.
Yeah, but Ash, what you're describing are things that typically a man would describe to say that what prepares him. So what you're saying, I don't think it allows you to be in your feminine role. I think it'll actually you kind of building up your masculine tendency by
That's what I
paving the
said.
way.
Yeah.
Okay, but you're saying by proxy of that, you think women are more prepared if they're kind of leaning in more to their masculine, maybe out of necessity.
Well, what's crazy?
Go ahead.
Women have testosterone too, right?
Yes. What does that mean? What was the point? What?
you know, you know, that shit go low and it go high. So I don't know, you get your levels, you get your levels measured. But some women, I don't know, dominance.
So
Just say
so
word. Just don't. You don't got to say words if you don't want to, right? You know that, right? You could just not talk. Golly.
so look,
It's
the
my
reason why
bedtime.
the reason why I say men at that age are more ready to lead as opposed to women at that same age are ready to follow is because after you've been on your own for so long or whatever, it's harder for you to go on ahead and be able to go into that submissive role because you have been on your own for that amount of time where you can't subject yourself to someone else's leadership. It's harder to do Whereas on the men's end, during that same age range or whatever, they are more prone to be able to lead as opposed to women to follow, because they have been on their own. They know what it is that they wanted to do, and it makes them better able to go on ahead and be able to lead
Yeah,
someone.
they honing the skills.
Right. They've honed the skills. You've honed the same skills as well, which makes it harder for you to
But
follow
that's not
because
your
you've
role.
honed those. Yeah, because you've honed those same skills. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that makes sense. That I understand what you're saying. Jalen Tay, why y'all say the women? Go ahead, go ahead, Jalen.
Um, because you brought in the biblical sense of husband and wife. I think that majority of the time, even though it's met with pushback, once a woman trusts you and she sees that you are able to handle things, usually submission follows. Is it perfect submission? For the love of God, no, it's not. It's not going to be perfect. But she does, in some form, submit to you and your leadership, which is why most men who are 35 and up are looking for younger women for a wife. They're easier to mold, they're easier to teach, they're quicker to submit. Is it met with pushback? Yes. But at some point, the submission does happen.
Mm. So she's not prepared, but she's easier to
Mold.
mold.
Yes.
So that makes her more prepared by proxy of being moldable.
From a bit, yes. Because,
Well, biblically speaking, he who finds a wife,
mm-hmm.
right? So technically, she's already at that point, biblically speaking.
Right.
Mhm.
However, he has to be finding a wife that fits the biblical sense of what a wife is. If he's not looking for a wife from the biblical context, he's not doing it the right way, right? Most men are not looking for a wife per the biblical context.
Okay.
That's why I don't see them as more ahead. Because in a marriage, in the Bible, God is the head before the husband. He is supposed to lead per what God's word is and teach his wife God's word and lead his marriage under that word. Most men are not doing that at that age. Most men are still trying to figure things out. So I can't put them ahead when they don't even have God as their leader. They're not even, that's not even, it's not there.
Okay. So, but the comparison is to the women, though.
Yeah.
The women are more prepared than men. Why, though? If God ain't fucking with nobody.
You put it in a biblical context. I gave you my reasoning.
No, what I'm saying, but what
That's the
makes
best
them?
reasoning I got.
So, what are the women doing differently? Because you're saying the main disqualifier is because of what the men are um, subscribing to. So, what are the women doing differently that makes them more qualified than the men? Just being younger.
I think we're more willing at that age to change for the men that we want to change for, that we see as we're serious about. At a young age, we tend to lose ourselves in the men that we date.
Oh, so you saying because she can be? I think I like this word better. Malleable at a
Yes.
younger age.
Mm-hmm.
Technically, she'll be more prepared because she can be um, molded into what he wants.
Yeah.
Mm. Okay.
Is that
Right.
more prepared or more receptive because she's being formed, not so much prepared,
Yeah.
she's receptive to take on the role as a wife, to serve, to do those things. So
Yeah,
just that more
more
receptive.
being receptive is a better word
Yeah.
to use. Yes.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Hmm.
Sorry
Same
if
Yeah.
I
with
didn't explain that too well, but I tried.
what you.
I was just gonna say, I think it was more so the way we were taught, as women. Like that's why I said women, because we're taught from a very young age, like you're to be a wife or how to, be grow up and be a wife, be a mother. Whereas it's in our mindset at that time to hurry up and get it done because of said internal clock. And I know again those milestones are changing, but around that age, those are the things you consider. You want to start having babies or be married by a certain age. So that's why I said we're more prepared in terms of mentally, because that's what we want more so. Whereas men don't want to get married for real till they're like 60 years old. So that's what I was thinking.
I don't think
This.
I think we're more open to the idea because of this like um fairy tale marriage that we depict in our head of what we're going to end up with, but I don't think we're prepared for what the reality of marriage is.
Not in
I,
real life, I don't think so. But I
yeah.
think in our minds, we think we're ready because again, that's all we're taught to
Yeah.
grow up in, and the fairy tales, right? Like
Hmm.
Prince Charming's coming to save you. You got to kiss a bunch of frogs before you get a prince. Like all that BS. That's not what they're teaching the men. So they're already going at it differently, or going about it
Well, more
differently.
men are married than women, though, right? So where's this coming from?
They're more prepared because
Huh?
them are. Are you saying they're more prepared because more of them are married?
Well, you're just talking about the mind, right? You're saying women grow up in this thing where they want it, the dream is to get married, but more men are married.
Yeah, but I mean, the stats show that that
Well,
it's not working what we're doing clearly.
yeah, well, because you're saying marriage minded, but essentially, if more men are married, then wouldn't that prove that men are actually more intentional about being married, or like,
Again, that I was just saying why I said women, but I get. I mean, to everybody's point of why they said men, I get it. But like, that was my initial thought is because we're taught that, and that's what we want by that age. But if we're talking specific to marriage in that time frame, then yeah, I mean, the stats clearly show men are out here doing it. They're just not marrying us.
go ahead, Wes.
I honestly, like, I've been just doing my like own personal research and looking over my own life, and try to have these conversations with people and with different women. We, as Black women, we were never taught to be wives. We observed, but I don't think actually our moms sat down with us and said, "This
Right.
is what it takes to be a wife. This is what you do when your husband." They don't do that. They don't sit down with us. Now, all the other cultures that I've observed, they really um, surround themselves with family. Everything that they do, family's there. Whenever they have a picnic, family. Dinner, family. Business, family. It's all surrounded by family. And so they get the children young. They have them in the kitchen. They're involved in them. So, and they, when they go out, that it's not a big deal to them. That's why I think other people, highlight. Well, this is why Asians do it this way. This is why this and that. It's because they just assimilate around family duties and they prioritize those things. That's why it's not a problem for them. So that's why it's perceived that, oh, they're better women. They're not necessarily better women. It's just that they have better habits in the household. They have better home economics than I believe that we do. We're very independent. We're very individualistic, and it's unfortunate that it happened to us like that. So it's a lot of unlearning that we have to do and relearning so that we can be those women that the men are seeking.
Okay, I
And
think.
just to, can I
Well,
just add a caveat to that?
one thing to that specifically. Go ahead.
Yes. So to the women who did grow up in those households where they had the two parents and the women did submit, I think the part that's missing from the mothers is how to discern who it is that you should be submitting yourself to. So they have the outline, they have the blueprint, right? As far as what submission looks like and how you are to go about performing that within your marriage. But the who specifically you are supposed to submit to, I think that that part is missing when it comes to those specific dynamics.
Yeah. So a couple things. One, you ain't qualified. Your daddy is though. That's the key component that's missing. We out here trying to date and figure out who's what, what's what, right? But we don't have anybody backing us that's gonna see it from a different angle and be able to discern different things. So if we out here trying to vet men for ourselves, as you know, the women, I think that we're doing ourselves a little bit of a disservice. One thing when Jalen come back, because when she was answering, she changed the premise because the premise was marriage, the average marrying age. So the average age is what I think it's we get married at 31 on average. But for people in our country, it's between 28 and 32. But when she was answering, she made the women younger. But that's not what we're discussing. We're discussing the average age of people getting married. So 31 is what her response needs to be predicated on. Right. Jalen, did you hear what I said?
Yeah, usually in marriages the man is still older. Even if she's at the average age of 28, he's still possibly 35.
She being
She's still
moldable
younger.
after her PhD and her doctorate or her JD.
Most women don't have that.
Well, you're looking at the ages where you qualified after all of that, right? So you at 28, 29. You have 6 more years before you hit geriatric pregnancy. So what's the young we talking about?
The ages that you just mentioned.
So you're saying she's still malleable at 28,
Yeah.
29, 30, 31?
Yeah.
I don't know. Because we on average get married at 31. So I don't see it.
Most women at that age are saying that they're finding themselves or quote unquote have found themselves, and they go through this whole introspection journey period. We're changing in that time.
Yeah, it just
We're not
sound like
set
more.
in anything.
So sound like selfishness though. Doesn't sound like I'm ready to lock in with a man. It's saying that I'm done fucking. I'm getting towards the age to where I'm considering having children, and so now I got to get serious. I'm done getting on yachts and boats and trips and all this other shit. Now let me find myself. I seen Insecure. They told us all the secrets.
Okay.
So that's what that actually means.
But compared to men who are godless, they're prepared to lead? No, not by
Well,
biblical text, they're not.
comparing what though? Comparing what to what? Godless to godless?
It is the man's responsibility to lead the woman. Per the hierarchy, you are the one closest to God. You are supposed to teach God's word to us. So yes, there's a difference.
What are you talking about? Do you want me to break down the Bible for real?
You brought up biblical marriage.
But I'm going slow with it because it's
I'm
not.
going. You
But
asked my
but what
opinion.
I'm
Like I
saying
don't.
is you're just espousing things, right? First and
Okay.
foremost, these women are having
Mhm.
sex with men promiscuously, right?
Mhm.
Right? They're
I
having
agree.
casual sex, right?
Mhm.
They're leaving their father's covering. And
Mhm.
so when you're trying to put a jacket on men saying they are godless, well,
I'm
she's not following the rules in the first place. That's why
You
I'm
asked
confused
me
about the
about my opinion as
I
to
know,
why
but
I
you
said.
keep on saying godless and they're supposed to do X, Y, and Z. You know that the woman should pass from covering to covering, right? But you keep
Mhm.
excluding that part and then saying the men are godless, right? So we're just trying to understand what you even mean by that. And if you got two godless people, why are you telling the men to wear that crazy jacket?
So if you want me to be candid, that's why I don't understand the conversation right now, because we're comparing two godless people. But since you want me to compare two godless people, I'm going based off of my knowledge of what I know the Bible to be and the text that is written. And I'm going based off of that. In real life, they're two godless people. You're both equally yoked. Make it work. If you're realistically asking me. But since I am participating in the conversation you set, that is the opinion I have.
You don't know nothing though, right? You see, you just said that you going off of something that you think you know, right? So maybe ask clarifying questions if you're going to speculate and then keep on saying that the men are godless, right? That's why I'm going slow, because you just saying stuff, right? But all of the people are godless. So I'm asking you why you even keep putting that jacket on men exclusively, right? Because we're saying both of them are, and you're saying based on a hierarchy, it goes God, men. So you're stopping there and saying, see, the men are so fucked up. So forget about what the women are doing.
That's not what I'm saying, Hamp.
All right, well,
you're adding words to what I said.
Say it again and be slow this time and be careful this time. Because I'm about to bring out the Bible and I'm trying not to.
I'm not exclusively saying that men are godless. I'm trying to defend the
just
point.
Now saying that, but you didn't say it. You didn't say it the last 10 times.
Okay, well, I'm correcting myself in real time and saying that both are godless. Okay? Cool. So, I apologize. Should have said that up front. Still, I'm trying. Like, I'm literally actively trying, because this is not my real opinion in real life. I'm trying as I go. So what clarifying questions should I have asked to get a better perspective?
That's the thing. When the ladies who disagree with it being about who's prepared, they didn't have to go in the vein of godless this and godless that. We already know how people are acting, right? And what they do and don't follow. So you can just answer the question, why are men more prepared or why are women more prepared? Your initial answer was they're younger, so they're more malleable, right? But then I was thinking through it and I said, no. We talking about average age 28 to 31. You saying they're still malleable in that age bracket. And I'm saying how? Because there's so many achievements that happen between 28 and 31. Right? So we seeing that's when people start to kind of feel themselves. And you saying they're going on these self journeys, that just leads to selfishness. I don't see that catering to a man. You can stay right there. You don't want to go to godless because you keep saying, I'm trying to figure out why you're saying that.
Okay.
So right there, women are still malleable at 31. That's probably the main thing I disagree with. Why are you saying that they're still ready to be molded by a man at 31 years old?
Because most women at those ages are still molding themselves to whatever man they're attracted to likes. Most of them are still trying to fit themselves in what that man is looking for, even if she may not be that woman. She tries to be submissive. She tries to fit the mold of what he wants in a wife.
I don't know. I think I understand it. I think those are those single by choice women, right? When the truth is they ain't single by choice, they single because they don't like the niggas that's approaching them. So when the guy that you talking about approach them, then they willing to do certain things that they normally wouldn't do. Like that?
Sure.
No, I'm asking.
Sure, yes.
Mr. Hamp?
Yes, ma'am.
Would you allow that maybe it's not so much the men that are approaching, sometimes women, because
Sometimes,
yes, okay. Women at times we are the weaker vessel. So there are times when we get in relationships that weren't good, or like you said, we make the choices and we didn't vet properly. So we had a bad experience, and now we taken a time, step back, and came back to the dating market, and we may be at that older age range. So we had to go through our lesson, to learn to be better women by, the age 28, 29, the age that
And
you're talking about.
I would
So,
ask, what do these lessons consist of?
um, like you said, not being selfish, um, being receptive to a man's leadership, letting the guards down, letting go of the real rigid independence that was indoctrinated into us.
I would say the majority of the time, no, because I'm not hearing the majority of women saying, I'm the reason for my last relationship failing. So quite
Mhm,
often when they come out of that last relationship, men ain't
mhm,
shit for real. And so
mhm,
now this self-healing journey is everything that he should have done better and how I'm okay where I'm at. So that's why I
mhm.
would say that because that's the majority of what I've heard, then I would say no.
Okay.
If that
No,
makes sense.
that's fair too. Yeah, I hear that as well.
Or do you
Hemp,
think go ahead, Rebecca?
hemp. I guess for me, I wonder what's wrong with the word follow. Um, what why is it hard for us to, instead of talking about how a man should lead, because in my opinion, that's
Mm-hmm.
not our place as women who want to be with a man under his leadership. We
Mm-hmm.
should be talking on how can we be better followers, or how can
Mhm,
we hold ourselves accountable in the ways that we didn't hold ourselves accountable in our last relationships. And I think that's what should probably be our focus, because that's what I feel like is our main problem, is the accountability of how we behave regardless of the person that we lost or our last relationship. We're worried about, oh, they weren't a fit because they didn't do this or they didn't do
mhm,
that. But what didn't we do? Because it takes two. So why can't we say, okay, we weren't the best at following. We may not have
mhm,
been the best at blah, 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 and just look back at ourselves to do that type of reflection. And I feel like we're talking about so much of man's leadership, but that has nothing to do with how we follow or how we put ourselves in the position to be led.
mhm.
That's just my opinion.
Absolutely. That's true too.
Yeah.
But that takes accountability, and some people ain't ready for that.
Why
Right.
you keep saying some? Yeah, I'm telling you,
It
when you
takes accountability, and I can say most or no. I can't say that either.
yeah, most is perfect.
Okay, so most people aren't ready for that
Hmm.
because they not ready to sit in the mirror and look at self.
Yeah.
Mhm,
I think that's the key, man. That's the hardest thing to do.
mhm.
That's the hardest thing to do, man. You
Because
know
I
what?
do.
Go
Oh,
ahead,
sorry.
Sean. You got it. You
I was
got it.
about to say I do think sometimes a lot um of childhood trauma also plays an effect as to why we're not able to be receptive to the leadership,
Mhm.
or why we do have like I said earlier, like go through those trials, or end up in those unfortunate situations and have kids because of those childhood traumas. So like sitting
Yeah.
with yourself and taking accountability most times is uncomfortable for most.
Yeah. I like that, Sean. So you know what
Mhm.
else is what something that popped in my head from what you said? We leverage so much trauma, right? And we spin it into triumph, right? But when the truth is, trauma is just that, you know? In our culture, seemingly we always champion like you gotta go through hard shit to be who you are today. When so many of our counterparts who don't look like us don't have to go through all these trials and tribulations to be great, you know? There's so much harm, even though we'll see good at the end, there's so much harm on that journey. You know, there's so much PTSD that can be transferred to different people, passed down, right? Projected on, you know. So even with the good, there's so much bad that I don't think we really realize, you know. And I get it. We got to embrace all things about ourselves, but we also got to put things where they are, you know. Like this is a bad part of me, you know. There's a book I'm reading. I'll send it to you guys if you want to read it. But it's like all the parts. Sway actually sent it to me. You know, he sent me an Audible because he's lazy. I actually bought the book. You know, salute to Sway. And I'm like just reading it, and it's like speak to all the parts, right? The ones that we ignore are the ones that we probably dislike the most. But it's okay. They need to be where they are, and they are what they are. They all can't be spun, you know? So I just hear that in us so much, right? Like only the strong survive. The tough of us went through the hardest shit in the world, you know? But you can be okay, just, you know what I mean? Like, like just being okay, right? That's okay too. Bad things, like deal with it and move on. You don't got to spin it in the shit. Let it be bad, you know?
But also teaching him also like you do move on, but also moving on means don't take on bad coping as well, because people do that too. So you may start okay because somebody did you wrong. I'm become a savage and I'm just tear down everybody in my sight. You can't take on more craziness, you know, trying to get over what you've been through.
What you said earlier, hurt people hurt people. So it's just like, you know, I guess trying to get out of that cycle.
My bad. That's Sherelle asking for the link. I told her I'm about to leave. I'm telling everybody.
Oh yeah, I just put it in the private chat. I was like, Sherelle want the link. Can I give it to her?
Oh my, I have not been looking. She gonna call me. I told you to take a 4-hour nap. You want to keep us up? We ain't staying up.
Nah, she been in the chat though. She been in the chat. She asked for the link about maybe about 30 minutes ago.
Callie, I know her. That nigga been asleep since we logged off. So I know for a fact she up and at him now. Nah, man, it's real, man. And I think the comparison is good. I think that we'll do better. You know, just from White School's point of view, Rebecca, Callie, Saw, Asha, Jalen, Love, with the being candid. Like, yo, that's me fucking it up. That's me with that behavior. You know what I'm saying? Like, we said it a million times, right? Niggas just say just about anything to get some cheeks. Y'all heard that before?
Yeah.
I'm niggas. Right? When I was outside, like, yo, like, you know, like, you know, it just like we always act like it ain't us, you know. That's the part that I'm just like, come on, beloved. You know?
Oh yeah, that's why I got 4 bodies and not just one. I bumped my head.
Man, Callie, TMI.
I'm okay, whatever. We being candid, right? We being candid, right? I'm just saying.
Yeah, man.
I done bumped my head. Fuck that.
Right?
It is what it is.
I'm tired. I'm going chaotic. What up, Sherelle? Sorry, I'm tired, man. I've been up since 3:45. I'm tired of shit, man. And we got a spar in the morning. Side. Good shit, babe boy. You been getting better, man. Any final thoughts?
I guess just actively do the work and start with self. And just not try to be one of those hurt people who hurt people. So that's it.
Bro, you can't fight. Asha.
Put him in the fucking bedroom. Get him out of here. Come on.
You stay up. I'm gonna call you right after this. Goddamn, we need a debrief.
What you say? Do the right thing.
Do the right thing, man. Jesus Christ. What you got? Any final thoughts?
Just be humble and allow both parties to speak. And we out.
That's nasty work. That's your final thought. Rebecca.
I would definitely say, regardless of if we don't think that we are them, we're them. All of us, we're them. And I'm okay if you want to disagree, but we are all them. And we just need to do better as a group, whether we feel like it's intentional or unintentional. We should just want to do better as a whole, just for the generations after us. I got 2 daughters, okay? For the generation after us, we need to do better.
Word. Wife school, man. Thanks for joining. I know this is your first rodeo.
Yeah.
I
Thank you
hope you had a
guys for
good
having
time.
me. Thank you guys for having me, DJ Hamp. Salute to you. Be the change you want to see. Be the change you want to see, and in your own personal life, get in alignment with the results you want to see happen in your life. So if you want to be a wife, get in alignment with what takes it to be a wife. If you want to be successful in business, get in alignment with what takes it to be successful in business. So you have to put yourself intentionally in that vein to see the results you want. That's all I have to say.
Indeed. Beverly.
That shit still sound funny. You saying my government, but all I can say is this. Okay, do not run at the first sign of turmoil if you go on ahead and you make that leap into marriage, right? Because that ain't the business. Okay, we're not talking about no frivolous shit, no frivolous, you know what I'm saying, little argument or disagreement or whatever, right? Whatever the fuck it is, you try and you work that shit out. You know what I'm saying? Stay in it for the long haul. You know what I'm saying? Um, because that shit ain't to be taken lightly. Okay. As much as I said that I didn't want to be the as much as I say that I didn't want to be my mother, I ended up being my fucking mother. Okay. As much as I said that I didn't want to be my daddy, even though my mom named me, my mom's nickname for me is a variation of my dad's name, I ended up being that nigga too. You know what I'm saying? So it's best that you self-reflect and evaluate the personality traits that you picked up from both parents and navigate that shit accordingly for the best result of not yourself, but for the overall health of the whole fucking family as a whole. You know what I'm saying? Don't go into marriage being selfish. Okay? Selfish doesn't prosper nobody at all whatsoever. It's about your progeny, your lineage, not legacy, okay, for the betterment of them because they are the ones who are going to go on ahead and further whatever it is that you teach them on to their own kids and your grandkids. All right, plane landed. Damn, fuck it. All right, Hamp.
No,
But yeah,
I
don't take that. But overall, don't take that shit lightly. You know what I'm saying? Whatever decision that you make, whatever like that, don't take it lightly. It ain't no little simple thing, and it ain't shit to be taken frivolously and on no frivolous shit. All right, plain landed. All right.
I'm gonna tell y'all, man. Yeah, man, shit is hard, man. Shit get hard real quick, man. Pause, and you'd be surprised, what can make things more difficult in a relationship. Words, actions, kids, loss of job, right? People who believe in depression get depressed, right? Postpartum, it's so much stuff. People dying around you, right? Things happening on the news that just change your outlook. I told my wife, you can't pump gas no more. What you mean? Because these 2 women got kidnapped, like in Texas, though, right? Like an hour from us, 2 hours from us. I'm just like, no, you can't pump no gas, But think about that, right? Like, and I'm gonna get offended. I'm gonna get upset if she, you know what I mean? Like, so life just be just crazy, there's so much happening, man. But I want to say, I think you guys do a good job of kind of staying right where it is for the most part. Um, you guys tonight didn't really bring up like the men per se. right? It kind of stayed like right on the women, for the most part, which is good. When I'm with my brothers, reining them in is much more difficult when they try to go a little bit off the course, you know. But I think y'all did a decent job, and the POV has been confirmation for a lot of things, enlightening for others, you know. So I just want to applaud that effort first and foremost because it's difficult. I know it is, you know, but it's interesting, man, for sure. I just want to make it just be clear, right? I know we all act like we superheroes, but we ain't. You know, we know this shit that's be happening because we going through it or we've experienced it firsthand or we've been the culprit. You know, 100%, right? And things do happen to us, no question. And you can learn from others' mistakes. But for the most part, our people specifically, we got to put our hand on that stove. You know, so I just want to make sure that we keep it tall because I think that's the best way. We resonate with people and people can learn. You know, you could definitely talk your shit, but at a point where it's be like, yo, I fucked that up, you got to say that too. You know, so I think y'all did a hell of a job, man. This is my favorite. I think this is my favorite show. Maybe Fridays is probably my favorite just 'cause I'll be like kind of drinking and DJing and shit. But this one is fun, man. I let y'all talk, boy, and y'all just be. Man, I think they're gonna boycott Asha, man. I'm gonna see what I can do. I would say come in the
No boycott
Discord.
Asha. No
Should I
boycott
give it a
Asha.
Callie? Should I give it a
Give it a
Discord?
Discord link. Give it a Discord link for sure.
You need to get the Discord.
But yeah, man. And I think one thing, man, how you do anything is how you do everything. So if you can show a side of you, that's you too. You know what I'm saying? And that's okay. Right? We just want to own all of it. Feel me? You know, it is what it ought to be for sure, man. Yeah, I hit the Discord. We ain't here too late. Too late today. Yeah, man, dope show, man. So I see y'all tomorrow night. I'm interviewing Q Butter. I don't know if y'all heard of him before, but
Hell yeah.
so salute to Q Butter, man. We were talking about mentoring, giving back. So the things that he's created, you know, STEM and for the kids, and I dropped the link for that interview tomorrow at 9 p.m. Eastern, 8 p.m. Central, whatever that is, Pacific. Let me drop the link real quick. That one should be dope as hell, man.
I like
So
you, butter.
yeah. I said, "Ham, you gotta guess." I reached out. He's like, "Yo, I dead ass follow your channel already." I said, "All praises to the Most High, man." You know. So we here, man. We're gonna get it popping. So, all right, y'all. Be safe. Get some sleep. Asha will call you in the morning. I'm going to sleep. You better watch his tape back. All right. You know. Saw good shit. Rebecca, good shit. Wife school, welcome, good shit. Callie, you already know. I love y'all. I appreciate y'all. Be safe. And did I read the super chats? God damn.
Nope.
I don't know. Yeah, read the super chats
I
because I know
did
you didn't
not
read
read the
mine
super
earlier, but I
chat.
wasn't gonna say nothing until like you
Cause
just
I
said
ain't
something
want to
right after.
derail y'all.
Read the
Easy.
super chats.
I did not read. I read this one. I read Arnold. Damn, I meant to read these a minute ago.
Yeah, he said
Devin, member for 15 months. Salute, my brother. Good to meet you in Atlanta. Ezekiel with Israel with us. It saw abort mission. Saw actually did all right when she got the big screen. Dan Lee been a member for 7 months. Shout out to HAMP panel in the chat. This is my favorite show. Let them talk. Join the Discord. Mike Brown with the $2. It ain't me syndrome in real time. Yeah, who was doing that?
See, that's that bullshit I be talking about, Hamp. Well, okay, go ahead.
Oh, niggas with the 2000s. I'm defiled and dishonored. My clan works. Ezekiel bin Israel. The 50 ball says, Jay, I wasn't able to correct my actions and come to repentance until I faced with raw truths about myself. I'm not happy with the pain I cause others,
Brother.
including myself. True strength comes from how you make things right. Love you, sis. Shalom. Yeah, man. He just talking about that brutal honesty, man. I think goes a long way.
And when I'm feeling broke, E and J by my side, Henny like $40. This shit like 25.
Perfect. Aaron with the $2 says, "Not my auntie Callie." Shaking my head. You gotta stay on that shit. Mike Brown with the $2 says, "HAMP. She controls the kids too. Her kids."
I said our motherfucker.
Aaron with the $5 says, "If marriage was a cruise, women will be secretly hiding life vests everywhere just in case the ship goes down." And they chose the cruise and the captain. God damn, I like that analogy.
What up, buzzing, bird flipping dozen. Holla at your boy, you thought your cousin was.
Salute my brother E-Dub in the building. Get your 5 memberships. Whoever got blessed for one, welcome to the family, and please maintain it. Aaron with the $2 says, "I miss Dez. Where her loud mouth ass at?" Salute to Dez, man. Reese was popping. Been a member for 10 months. Salute. Reese was goody. Hakeem, what up, kid? I ain't seen him in a month for Sundays, bro. Hope all is well, man. He said, "Hope everything is everything, man." You already, man. All right, cool. Most high willing, I'll see y'all tomorrow night. If I don't see y'all before then, be safe and do the right thing, man. Like, share, subscribe. Tell a friend to tell a friend. And we out.